Welcome to Beyond the Surface on the X-Rated Sports Network. Rick Kamla, upper left corner. We have A.M. Pepper, author, anchor, businessman. Dr. Phil McDonald, a.k.a. Dr. X. He is in the upper middle box, the creator of the X-Rated Sports Network, this show, the top radiologist in America. Lower left, we have Dwight Walton, huge opinions, huge career, Canadian basketball legend, TSN correspondent, and he brings a big bat to the program. And I saved Dennis Scott for last because, DZ, we didn't have you on Tuesday. All right, Mr. Leave It, Mr. Gooseneck, Mr. Wetter, Mr. Splasher, okay, Mr. Let It Fly. And we got Dennis back, and we're super excited about that. Dennis, you earlier this week were with ESPN and ACC Network. You've got a new gig with them. We're super, super stoked for you, DZ. Obviously, Georgia Tech legend. No, everybody remembers Lethal Weapon 3. And so all these years later, you're going back sort of to where your roots are, college, Georgia Tech, the ACC. We're psyched for you, man.
Missed you guys the last couple weeks, but like you said, it's been a surreal moment to be in those meetings, and you know, I don't want to bore you because I know we'll get into it a little bit more, but to be in the same room with Jim Boeheim, who recruited me, he was a part of the Big East at the time, and now he's a part of the ACC. Oh, wait a minute, he's retired now. So process that for our viewers. I grew up in the Washington, D.C. area. I could have gone to Georgetown, and I'm watching the original Big East, not the new Big East,
Right.
the original Big East. And that's where Syracuse was king, right? With Georgetown and all the other greats. Then, obviously, all the movement, college football, college basketball. Now Syracuse is in the ACC. Coach Boeheim now is retired, and he's part of the ACC network.
That's nice.
And now
That's
I'm in
nice.
the same room talking to him, and he goes, I still don't like you. I said, Coach, I love you. He said, I'm like, Coach, I love you. You picked Bobby over me, I'm never going to forget it. And he starts laughing.
Bobby Cremins. Why did you pick Bobby over Boeheim? We got to know.
Well, the two
Oh,
biggest
man.
reasons, and I told Coach that nothing has changed, that it's cold as hell in Syracuse. And in the game I went to, there was 37 inches of snow. I mean, I still have the article of it. You know, they have a picture of me in the background with my little Flint Hill sweatshirt on. I'm like, damn, I like this. Sherman Douglas from D.C. Come on, man, we're going to take care of you. I said, Sherman, it's cold as hell up here. And this is all y'all got up here? Then I come down to Atlanta, get some of that, Southern hospitality, some of that Georgia peach, and I think the rest is history.
Oh yeah, facts.
Not a bad option. No question.
So no,
I love it, man.
it was a lot of fun, so surreal, guys. It's and to, I think, go back to your point, Rick. Like going back to college basketball and kind of now being the voice of the kids, say the old heads, right? But also understanding that the game has grown, kids have grown. You know, there's 18 teams in the ACC now, which is just crazy to fathom. But I'm all about growth, and it puts more pressure on the assistant coaches. In my opinion, I'm sure we'll get into it in the show. Is how do you recruit? Do you recruit the right kids? And make sure you recruit the right kids that fit your culture, because there's so much money being thrown around, and we've seen. I'm sure we'll get into this too. We see coaches getting fired, and we see these buyouts. I don't hear too many people complain about the buyouts when coaches are getting it. How are you deserving of a buyout? You haven't won anything.
Because it's in black and white and it's signed and attorneys blessed it, and that's why. And it's a weird game, man. These guys get whacked, and they get a $50 million settlement to leave and not work.
Unbelievable.
It's good living if you can fall into that and fail up like that. So, guys, let's dive in here. So many topics to get to. We got to start with Wemby. Went off again last night. They won again last night. It's going to slide us into a Halloween-themed segment that we have, Who's Scarier? So I'm going to put guy against guy. We're going to go kind of rapid-fire style, 5 of us. Who's scarier of those two guys? We're going to talk about the Reeves and Linsanity comp. The injuries to Trae Young and Anthony Davis, load management versus gambling in the NBA. We got football picks. We got NFL MVP. We got rants. We got so much stuff to get to. You're in a great spot here on Beyond the Surface. So Wemby does it again, guys. 27. I mean, just feast on the stat line for a minute. 27, 18, and 6 with 5 blocks, a steal, and a 3. Okay, said no one ever. So the Spurs are 5-0. They have the second best record in the league behind only OKC at 6-0. Wemby has a block in 90 straight games, 4th longest streak in league history, which is kind of hard to believe with the Dikembes and the Mornings and the Hakeems and all that. He's got the 4th longest block streak. The Wemby takeover is on us right now. It is DEFCON 1 for the league at this point. He's 2 players for the price of 1, playing both ends, the length he brings. He's never beaten on a drive, right? He's always going to recover and be there at the rim and beat you to the rim when you're trying to put up that layup. The motor, the intelligence, the competitiveness. Front runner for MVP right now. The Spurs are moving into the West Finals conversation speculatively. And so, Dr. X, let's just kind of ooh and ah about Wemby here a little bit. I mean, what you were watching the game. We were texting about it last night. Get us started here, man.
Yeah, I mean, Wemby in the first half of the game was just dominating. And then it looked like he's starting to run out of steam because Bam started getting some shots in him, started throwing his body into him. And I think they try to throw a double big lineup, or really Jaime Jaquez was just like had that motor, and they were just kind of getting the best of them. They were able to go on like an eternal run and were able to tie it. So I really think they might be trying to figure out the scouting report, but it really doesn't matter. Like the Spurs are so deep and Wemby's so good that all he needs is like a quick breather, and he comes back and he's like, altering shots. Even if he doesn't block it, he's altering shots, and it's just a pretty bad hurdle to get over if you're the opposing team. But as well as you can't even discount the fact that De'Aaron Fox hasn't even played a game yet. And so once that chemistry builds up and the lob threats start happening, I can only imagine if the Spurs get a little greedy and think of getting like a bodyguard for Wemby just to make sure people don't try to rough him up too much. Maybe like a athletic Charles Oakley. That would be something that I think the Spurs probably should be looking for right now, just to, keep things in perspective for the long term.
Dwight, come on in here, man. Let's talk Wemby. Is French Vanilla that guy, Luke Cornett? Is he the enforcer that Wemby needs?
I'm glad that's where I was going, Rick. I think they've tried to do that with the Spurs and Victor Wembanyama in terms of having a protector for him, especially with the depth they have at center now with Luke Cornett and also Canadian Kelly Olynyk, who hasn't dressed yet. But I want to focus on Wemby here. I just think he has changed the game of basketball to have the impact on both ends of the floor. Impact's winning. And we can talk about other players that have been great on both ends of the floor, but I don't think we'll have somebody like this. I don't think we've had the likes of a player like Wemby since Will Chamberlain. I'm not sure if Wembanyama will put up Wilt-like numbers where he's going to average 50 and 25 for an entire season. I don't think Wembanyama will do that, but he'll come pretty close in terms of the impact that he has on both ends of the floor. And I've watched the Spurs extensively to start this season. And to see players not necessarily fear Wembanyama, but just the mere fact that he's in the lane makes players think twice about making a pass, taking a shot over him. Forget about the obvious block shots that he's going to get. I'm already on record as saying Victor Wembanyama won the Defensive Player of the Year award on the second night of the season when he had 9 block shots. And there were numerous other opportunities that players had at the rim to where shots were altered, or they get 2 feet in the paint, which we want all of our guards to get, but then to spray it out, his long arms, just being a deterrent on the defensive end, already has him, in my opinion, as a Defensive Player of the Year. I'm also on record saying he's on pace to win the MVP and the Most Improved Player of the Year award, because Victor Wembanyama has improved. I know that may be a hot take for a debate here, but I believe he should be the front runner for all three of those awards 5 games into the season. None of us had the Spurs finishing second in the Western Conference behind OKC. Yes, there are many games to be played, but if this team stays intact, if they can stay healthy, the development of Stephen Castle, Dylan Harper, who's off to a terrific rookie season. We haven't seen Jeremy Sohan play yet. We haven't seen De'Aaron Fox play yet. Yet Mitch Johnson has this young core, this young group of players in second place currently in the Western Conference, and it's all because of Victor Wembanyama. We could talk about Castle. We could talk about Harper. We could talk about the players who haven't played yet. But it starts and ends with a healthy Victor Wembanyama. I just hope that he can stay away from the medical side of things and just bring us a bunch of fun on a nightly basis to where he has made the San Antonio Spurs must-see television on a nightly basis.
Hey, put this into perspective, man. Wemby, 5-0.
Man, you said it. DEFCON 1. Let's just tell the audience what that actually means. Nuclear war is imminent or may have already started. People don't even know. And that's what's going on in the league right now. It has started. It is nuclear. Wemby is here. He is the bomb that was dropped into the center of everything. It is just ludicrous what he's doing. But the rest of the team, and I'm glad, Dwight, you talked about everybody else. Here's the key stat right now. Through 6 games as well, because some of the teams obviously have been through 5 and some through 6. Defensively, opponents per game, the defensive rating, 103.8 for the Spurs. The only other team in the league right now, sub 110, are the Clippers. Even the Oklahoma City Thunder are over 110 defensively. 103.8. Think about that right now. And that is all anchored by Wemby. It's unbelievable. 5 blocks last night that he's got. What's the total for blocks that he's got already this year through 5 games? It's got to be more than what a lot of people are going to do through 82.
He leads the league at 4.8 per game. He's at 24 blocks in 5 games. I saw a tweet, I don't know, 3-4 days ago, and it said Wemby has more blocks than all of these teams. And I didn't count them, but it felt like 29 teams. It felt like he had more blocks than any other team has total here. DZ, I want to nuance this, and you can take it wherever you want to go. But you are the weatherman. You are the three-point pioneer. By the way, this guy right here, like the GOAT of range. Okay, like this dude was popping logo threes before Caitlin Clark was even like, a thought. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe, some of the younger three-point shooters. But DZ, Wemby last year was at 8.83 attempts per game. 8.8. He's down to 3.2 this year. His free throw attempts have skyrocketed. Do you like this? Do you think this is sort of maybe an adjusted Wemby, or do you think it's just 5 games and he'll go back to shooting 9 threes a game?
It shows me that it's an intelligent Wemby, that now he's taken the information that he's learned now for the first couple years. He still has Pop in his back pocket, even though Pop has retired. Remember, Pop still sits in the office and Pop's voice is still being heard. Mitch has done a heck of a job buying into the work that Wemby has put in. So I like to tell all the people who don't understand that we just don't wake up and become great shooters. We just don't wake up and become great dribblers. Wemby has put in the work all summer long, so now everything he's doing looks second nature. That's what's messing everybody up. It's very similar. Remember, Rick, when the Joker started making all this noise? He's too slow. He can't jump off a curb. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do this. But why is he getting MVPs? Well, why is he getting triple doubles? Well, why is he so effective? Why is he so efficient? Well, it's called impact. And that's what we're learning now. We can compare this, that. Well, for the older people, Wemby's closer to Ralph Sampson than any other big that ever played, because Ralph could take it off the rim and shoot threes before any other 7'4" guys was shooting threes. But that wasn't the impact what the game is now. So with Wemby, what I'm most impressed is, hey, Wemby, we need you to play defense. Okay, I'll go get 9 blocks. hey, Wemby, we need you to set screens to be, to stretch the defense. Now think about this for a second. Even with the Joker, you still don't pre-rotate to him when he's shooting the three. Wemby has you going for his pump fakes. I made so far viewers that may be a little too deep for him. The last 7-footer where he caught the ball on the wing and you went for his pump fake, it was Dirk. But Dirk was a perimeter 7-foot player. Wemby's gonna post you up. He's gonna catch the ball on the elbow. Oh, wait a minute. They're gonna give him a live dribble at the top of the key and have the point guard go set a screen for him. Mitch McConnell's done his homework. More importantly, they're in the practice setting saying this is going to work because a point guard by nature is not used to talking to the big guy on his side. Normally it's the other way around. So that's what makes that play so effective. So the word impact for me is what I think about Wemby. His impact on the game is just like any other young great we've talked about now and in the past.
That is Dennis Scott, Dwight Walton, Dr. Phil McDonald, AM Pfeffer. I am Rick Hamlin. We're Beyond the Surface on the X-Rated Sports Network. So glad to have you guys and girls along for the ride. Let's play a little game, little Halloween-themed game. Who's scarier? All right? Who, in AM Pfeffer, I want you to go first on this one. Who is scarier for their sport moving forward? Shohei Ohtani, who will be balling again tonight, Game 6 of the World Series, or Victor Wembanyama? Who is scarier for their sport moving forward, Shohei or Wemby?
Ooh, good question. I mean, obviously, it's hard to compare those two guys because it's so different. But ultimately, if you're a player in either of those leagues, I think Otani is scarier. I mean, it's the World Series. He's 4 for 4, right, in Game 3, and you put him on base 5 more times in that insane 6-hour-plus long game. He's so far and above, and I know we talked about it a little bit in trying to compare him to anybody else in the league. Judge is probably the closest thing, and it's not even close how much better Otani is. He is scarier. He's doing it on both ends for you, on the mound and at the plate. You just don't want to face him. You don't want to think about what he does to you in the postseason, and he's dragging that team pretty much to, conference or World Series almost every year as long as he's there. Now, Wembanyama, obviously, of course you're gonna look at him if you're an opposing player and you're gonna be scared, especially the way he's gonna make you alter his shot. Your shot against him. But ultimately, overall, I think Otani is a bit scarier.
Dwight Walton, you're up next.
This is a tough question. First of all, a great question, Rick. It's a tough question for me to respond to because, to me, the answer is simply based on the health going forward of Victor Wembanyama. We could talk about the greatness of who I think is the greatest baseball player of all time already. Talking about Shohei Ohtani. Never did I ever think, and I know we could have the comparisons with Babe Ruth. I don't think Babe Ruth played against all the best players at the same time. So Shohei Ohtani was able to throw the ball 100 miles an hour, be able to hit for power, steal bases, have an impact defensively as well. Just a total package in terms of that. And the less health risk in baseball to where Shohei can simply be a DH if he wanted to be and still be dominant and have impact on winning World Series. The only question in regard to Victor Wembanyama will be his health. And we know how it is with people at that size in terms of lower extremity injuries. And then you add the medical situation in terms of the thrombosis that Victor Wembanyama had to miss last season because of. All that comes into play in terms of my response. So I think my answer would be Victor Wembanyama, but my concern are the health concerns for Victor Wembanyama going forward. So I think the smarter answer for me at this time would be Shohei Ohtani, simply because he pitches every 5th day. The Dodgers will use him judiciously. They will not pitch him every 5th day because of how they know his impact offensively at the plate will always impact winning, especially come playoff time. And it's less of of impact on the body in terms of a baseball player. So in terms of longevity and being scarier over the course of a career, I think it's Shohei Ohtani. But Victor Wembanyama would be my answer. But my concern is his health going forward.
Dr. X, who's scarier for their leagues moving forward, Shohei or Wemby?
Moving forward is probably the key factor, but I think Shohei Ohtani right now because he's pretty much the center of attention when you're dealing with a player like him. It's like, he's on the mound and it's just you versus him. It's almost like he's going one on one. Every time he's the center of attention, it's one on one. And so, per player, if he's batting against you, the pitcher is probably pretty scared of him. If it's not that, then it's also going to be he's pitching at someone that's a slugger and would probably strike him out. So with Wemby, it's a team effort, and so you could kind of like circumvent his greatness with some other factors with four of the players on the floor, as well as hoping that his teammates aren't playing for the other team with bad play. So I would say right now Shohei Ohtani, and the fact that he already won a World Series, that I would give him that nod. So until Wemby starts dominating the way Shaq did, and the way Kobe did, and the way Jordan did, I got to give the nod to Shohei Ohtani.
Love the answer. DZ, what's up?
Man, it's Doc just took me over the hump because winning is key. We love both of their impacts and what they're bringing to the game. It speaks for itself. But when you're a pitcher, and we know it's a team sport, so if you pitch good enough and you make those battleship ground balls, you're expecting the infielder to scoop it up and make sure you throw it to first base and get them out. Yes. You're hoping Wemby with his young team, his impact, yes. But winning at the end of the day and how he's won so far so quickly with his teammates, I got to agree with Doc.
All right, I will go last here. It's a lot of Shohei, guys. It's a lot of Shohei. We're not talking about Victor Wembanyama as the best player in his sports history. We're just not. He's doing things that we've never seen anybody do, right? We've never seen a combination of shot blocking and three balling like Victor Wembanyama. Last year, it was 4 blocks and 3 threes per game, which is mind-blowing. It's never happened before. So he's doing rare, spectacular things, never seen before things. But the GOAT debate is Michael, Kareem, and LeBron. And that's how I have it stacked 1, 2, 3. A lot of people think LeBron is the GOAT. That's fine. I don't want to turn this into a GOAT debate. My point is we compare Shohei to Babe Ruth. We're saying Shohei's a better player than Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, okay? Mickey Mantle, like I don't know, names that are on the top of a mountain somewhere, right? And we're already putting Shohei above those guys who have 500 home runs, 600 home runs, 4 World Series titles, whatever it is. We're already giving that to Shohei because he's earned it, okay? My favorite thing to watch in baseball is Shohei Ohtani pitch. It's my favorite thing to watch in all of baseball. I love watching him hit. But watching Shohei pitch, the guy's entertaining. There's so much curve and bend. And in baseball, it's either called a yacker or Uncle Charlie, right? The curveball. And he's got a 12-6 curveball. 12-6 meaning look at the clock. It starts up here and then it ends up down here. And guys just have no chance of hitting it. And then so you're sitting on some off speed, boom, 100 miles an hour, like up and outside. You can't even hit it. Nobody can hit it. It's the red zone for everybody, or that cool zone for everybody as they do that little grid. Nobody can hit it. All right, so he is scarier for Major League Baseball. Doc, I love the point that he's already got a chip, and he's going to win several more. So he's got championship DNA. He's cracked that code. It's going to take Wemby a minute to do that. I think we all think eventually he will. But to be the best of all time in basketball, you've got to beat Kareem, Michael, and LeBron. And then, you go to Kobe and Duncan and all those guys. But the guys at the very, 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 very top. We're not putting Wemby above those guys right now, but we're putting Shohei above Babe freaking Ruth. Okay, so Shohei's my answer. All right, let's move on here, guys. It is Who's Scarier, Halloween style. Let's if we can maybe try to rapid fire this a little bit. But I want to go to Dr. X first on this one, man. Who's scarier, LeBron James or Kevin Durant? I think this one might cause some brain meltdowns here. All right, we've got
Scarier
two
right
of the
now?
greatest of
Right
all
now?
time. They're right now. And obviously, let's assume LeBron is back from the sciatica and he's balling and he's going 24, 8, and 8 like he always does. Okay, I'm not saying a healthy Durant versus the currently out of the lineup LeBron. Let's imagine here LeBron is healthy. He's right. Okay, Durant's playing well for Houston right now. Dr. X, who's more dangerous right now?
Right now,
Or more scarier, I should say.
Right now, I would say definitely KD. I just feel like he can hurt you so many ways. LeBron, usually it's really a team sport with basketball. So with LeBron, it's kind of like, the Lakers don't scare me. So LeBron is not going to scare me at the same time. But I just think defensively, just the whole setup of Houston from the coach down, like they take on the personality of their head coach and Ime Udoka. So like he's always a hard nosed like type of coach where all his teams are very defensive minded. And then you have Amen Thompson, at the point guard, leading the defense. And then their lineup that they're actually deploying is crazy, like 4, 6, 10 guys, and then your point guard is 6, 7. It's probably I'm not even sure what his wingspan is, but just that alone. I mean, I look like I got a big wingspan over here too. But what's his? But Amen Thompson, straight up the 40, 50, 90. Like KD's not missing free throws. It's like when it comes down to the clutch, you're looking to foul LeBron. You're not looking to foul KD. You're looking to like double team KD to get the ball out of his hands. With KD, you don't want to ever leave him open for three. You might look at LeBron and leave him open. He might do that little, like he's about to, when people were joking on him, like, when he's about to do a step back three. I think KD is the fact that I don't know why they decreased his size. For like 3 years, they were saying 7-footer. Now he's 6'10". But ultimately, KD mid-range, layups, dunks, threes, free throws, and it's just hard to stop him. So I would say KD.
Who's scarier, DZ, KD or LeBron?
I'm gonna simplify it for you. If I need a bucket at this point in their career, year 21 or 22 for LeBron, year 18, whatever it is, KD is KD all day for the style of play.
Dwight, who's scarier, LeBron or Durant right now?
Well, right now, because LeBron isn't playing, Durant is the scarier proposition. But as the season goes on, and I've heard the talk about how the Lakers are better off without LeBron, and if the thinkers are thinking about the future, they should look for a trade opportunity with LeBron so they can move forward with Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic. LeBron is the leading scorer in NBA history. LeBron affects all aspects of the game of basketball. And I'm not saying Kevin Durant doesn't, but a lot of this response to me is how it looks aesthetically. I know LeBron doesn't have the wiggle in his game. He doesn't have the individual one-on-one moves, yet his teams seem to win. And it's the effect on winning that where my response is going to go for LeBron James. I know Durant looks prettier, has the better offensive arsenal, is a 50-40-90 guy, as my cousin astutely put forth here with his response. But ultimately, I just think the impact that LeBron James has on winning, his teams will always be in championship.
Dwight, answer the question. Dwight, you sound like a long-lost LeBron fan. Answer the question.
I did. It's LeBron James.
But you answered the question. Now you went on and on and on. And it's like, stop. We already know how LeBron great. We're talking about right now today. If you asked anybody in the NBA, are they scared of LeBron or KD? They're going to say KD.
Right.
We're talking about a bucket.
Which is
We're
fair.
not talking about the career.
That's fair.
Yes.
But I'm going to say when he's healthy, LeBron has a better impact on winning than Kevin Durant
That's not
does.
the question, though. It's a different question. That's a different question.
No, it's not. No, it's not, DZ. That is the question.
you talking about scarier when KD
Like
has the ball,
guarding the person.
everybody's scared. When LeBron has the ball, nobody's scared. LeBron's not going by you. LeBron's not going by you. LeBron's backing you down, waiting to get double teamed to pick you apart. Scary is the word. Scarier. Scary is the word. Who's scarier?
Okay, you can say all of that, Dennis. LeBron is scarier than KD. Period.
On a fast break.
AM, come on in. I love this. I absolutely love this. Dwight, I just have a teaser. You're going to like my answer. Who's scarier, LeBron James or Kevin Durant? AM, you're up.
I love this, and I'm glad you guys all went first because I'm going to take the coach's perspective, right? DZ, you just talked about all the players in the league and who they're going to be scared of, and it's KD. But from a coach's perspective, I still think it's LeBron. Why? He can play all 5 positions. He can still do it to you defensively. And you know what? Anybody who knows basketball knows LeBron James is playing 3D chess at all times in his mind. Basketball comes down to crunch time, last 3 minutes of a game, and he can affect the game on and off the court that way, through his players or how he's doing it. LeBron is scarier, especially to the coach.
Thank you, AM. Thank you.
We are 2-2 right now, by the way. I'm going to break the tie here. DZ, I want to make a point about what you said. I agree with your really, really like detailed breakdown. Like, if I'm a defender in the NBA, who am I more scared of? Okay. I'm looking at this more like broadly. You know what I mean? And I like the nuance that you're going with there, because obviously, but if I'm not a player, but if I'm out there guarding, KD's got a way deeper bag than LeBron James. He's got the crossovers. He's got the pull-up, right? He's just got this huge bag and a bunch of other moves. And LeBron's, the freight train coming downhill on you. He's got a pull-up, but it's not as deadly as Durant's. And so we know all that stuff. So in the way you're setting it up, I agree with you. But more broadly, here's why I go with LeBron James. And again, this is asterisk if healthy, right? Kevin Durant is a laid-back alpha. He's an alpha, but he's a laid-back alpha. LeBron James is a killer alpha. There's like 2 different like cuts of alphas, and KD, like, he doesn't really want to be the leader of the team. He says he doesn't really want to be, involved in personnel decisions, although he probably is. But he's just a chill, laid-back hooper that wants to hoop and then, like, be left alone and live his life. And he doesn't like small talk, all right? As it says on his Twitter, LeBron James is he's that. Like, just absolutely has to have that ring. And KD's got 2. It was set up on a platter for him, right? And I'm not diminishing it. I'm not taking anything away. I'm just saying, like, LeBron has been the dude for all 4 of his championships. And Kevin Durant was like the dude for his 2 and did win finals MVP. And again, I love Durant. Okay. Love Durant. I'm not like dissing. I'm not devaluing rings or any of that kind of stuff. I'm just saying, who's scarier? I want that killer alpha come March, April into the playoffs rather than a laid back alpha. So I say LeBron James. LeBron, ironically, right now, not healthy, wins this over Kevin Durant. That didn't really go the way I thought it would, but I love it. Yes.
Who has a scarier nickname?
Hold on, Dennis. I want to ask you a question.
Hold that thought, Doc. Hold that thought.
It's sort of in this realm here. Do you think what happened in Phoenix happens if LeBron James is there?
Is this a new question or is this a new question or the same question?
No, it's the same question. But listen, Kevin Durant was with Devin Booker, and
if it's the same team, the same outcome. Bradley Beal's not going to be any better. The players are still the same players. The players are still the same players. They're still not going to win.
I'll respectfully disagree with that response.
That's okay. That's fine. Because last time I checked, I know every last one of those players better than you do, and they're not going to play any better than what they were. So I know that for a fact.
LeBron impacts winning. He impacts winning.
Yes, but he's not. LeBron's not making guys stop somebody either. That's why the Lakers went home last year, because they couldn't stop nobody.
That's a fair point.
and
That's all
and
it is. Come
LeBron was in
on,
the
man.
playing
Let's
tournament.
call it what it is. Let's call
The
it.
Lakers have been in the
What people
playing
get
tournament.
confused is what people get
And
confused
where have the Suns been, Phil?
we're not
Not making
as
sense
Cameron
right
just
now.
said, we're not diminishing LeBron's greatness. If you pay
No,
attention, I was singing LeBron's tunes years
know
ago.
that.
The problem is players are around you. They are who they are. They are who they are. Like people forget who made the biggest shot in Cavs history.
Kyrie.
Kyrie.
Mm-hmm.
So
Kyrie's
like,
more scarier.
that's
Luka's
another question. So
scarier.
it's like we can ask different questions all day long about the great ones. We can. But we're talking about if LeBron, to answer your question again, LeBron's not making, go look at that roster. Again, look at that roster. LeBron's not going to make each one of those guys play better. LeBron's not going to make Bradley Beal say, you know what? I ain't playing today because my ankle don't feel right. LeBron's
Dennis.
not going to make Bradley Beal play better.
Dennis, who made the greatest block in Cavs history?
No, LeBron, right, the rundown.
J.R.
See,
Smith.
that's another
J.R.
question.
Smith, because he alters his shot.
No, that's the non-pass.
J.R.
Hey.
Smith. That's absolutely hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious.
KD's name is going to be the Grim Reaper today. That's the scarier nickname too. That right there shows you what KD naturally invokes. It's fair. His name is the Grim Reaper, or the Slim Reaper. So
There you
right
go.
there,
Yeah,
shows
The
you
Slim Reaper.
And Durantula, which is kind of scary too. And Durantula.
that too. Come on, man.
Yeah.
As they get older, that's the toughest part. That's the
toughest
toughest part when we talk about great ones as they get older. That's the hardest part because we start, like, at the end of the day, LeBron's going to have the best argument of all of the players. The longevity and still being effective and playing at a high level in year 21 and 22. Nope. Like, think about it. Once again, Tom Brady picked the Bucks. Why? Because the defense was number 1 and 2. The offense was solid. He had pieces. That's what I'm talking about. LeBron's sitting there figuring out, how can I get me a good team again? Because last year's team looked good on paper, but we got our asses kicked so quickly when we faced a good team. That's all I'm saying.
All right, it is Beyond the Surface on the X-Rated Sports Network. I love it. All right, let's go NFL for a minute here. Dwight, I want to tee you up first on this one. Who is scarier, Jalen Hurts or Patrick Mahomes right now? And we don't need any injury qualifiers. Who is scarier, Mahomes or Hurts?
Since we are
These weren't, Dwight, these weren't meant to be easy.
In terms of individual performance, it's got to be Patrick Mahomes. But simply based on the last couple of Super Bowls, Jalen Hurts has outplayed Patrick Mahomes, and I think the Eagles have the better supporting cast than the Kansas City Chiefs do, although they are getting healthier right now, and their defense, which is not talked about as much as it should be, has come to the table again as it did last season. Yes, they went up against the juggernaut, which are the Philadelphia Eagles, but in a vacuum, if we're talking about mano-a-mano, Patrick Mahomes is the better quarterback and scarier than Jalen Hurts. But in terms of the total team concept, I think the Eagles as a team makes Jalen Hurts the scarier proposition.
Dr. X, you're next.
I'm gonna go with Patty Mahomes. He's like the Steph Curry of the NFL amongst the quarterbacks. This can hurt you so many ways. But you know, he's like a surgeon in terms of how he just dissects the defense, and you know, call him scissor hands right now. But yeah, he's the one that I would say over Jalen Hurts.
Am, you're next.
Well, go ahead.
No, go ahead, DZ. Go ahead.
No, I love this question. It was funny. I love the football question because we get caught up in, both sides and the quarterbacks, and they never don't play against each other. But Patrick Mahomes is different, and that's Jalen Hurts is not different in a way where Patrick Mahomes, you're like, well, it's third down and 23, And analytics say you get this first down 6% of the time. And you normally bet against it. And then Patrick Scissorhands, to your point, Doc, figures out a way to scrambles, does something, or runs and drops his shoulder. He does something. He's like, I know my defense sucks. Let me figure out a way to get this first down and make sure we score. Once again, Jalen Hurts, I love him to death, go back to college. But Patty Mahomes is just different. Remember, the first 3 games, most people, they said, the Chiefs are done. Patty Mahomes said, nah, let me go on my tool bag. Let me figure out some things. I got Rice back now. I got a few of my pieces back. Let me remind everybody how tricky y'all can be. I'm going with Patty Mahomes.
Hey, Patty Mahomes or Jalen Hurts? Who's scarier right now?
Well, first of all, I love that we're calling him Patty. Secondly, it's such a great question because if you just put these guys side by side and talk about them as quarterbacks, it's not even a comparison. Like Mahomes and Hurts, it's almost a ludicrous comparison. But I love the question: who's scarier? And really thinking about it, I'm gonna say Hurts. Why? For one reason, and that is the tush push. There's one team in the league that can do it. They do it over and over again. It's 4-1. You need it. He's the guy, and he's almost always going to get it for you. And how many touchdowns does this guy score game after game after game? And again, from this, you asked that question about scary. Who am I talking about, or who are we talking about when we're thinking about being scared? You're thinking about opposing coaches, and they are scared as hell of the tush push. Hurts. It's scarier for that reason.
I love it, AM. I like what you did there, AM. I like what you did there. I like what you did there.
When I was thinking about this, AM, I kind of started on a Hurts thing, and then I thought about it more, and I'm on, and Mahomes is my answer. But as I was running through that, it occurred to me that the tush push is Kareem's skyhook in the NFL. You can't stop it. I think Minnesota did a barrel roll one time and got like one. They're like 250-1 at getting 2nd and 1, 3rd and 1, 4th and 1 with the tush push. I mean, they can even go 2 yards out and get it. And it has been replicable even without Jason Kelce, who, God bless him. Did we really need this much Jason Kelce? Sorry, I had to, kind of. Anyway, back to our story here. I mean, every time I turn on a TV, I see Jason Kelce. Either at a commercial or on a set somewhere. It's like it's an explosion.
Well, when you win the Super Bowl, when you win the Super Bowl, your last name Kelce, you get extra perks. I see.
No doubt. I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, the year before, Travis Kelce was on every commercial. I mean, it was like State Farm. He's getting a Pfizer jab. Yes. It was crazy. Yes. Like the Kelces are taking over. But my answer is Patrick Mahomes, guys, because. I mean, Jalen Hurts is very, very scary. He right now has his passing game the best it's ever been, and we know about the running and all that. Last year, I would have said Jalen Hurts with this. However, Mahomes is like back. Okay, statistically, and I'm a big fantasy guy. The last couple of years, Pat Mahomes has been a major disappointment in fantasy football. People are drafting him in the first round. They want 40 touchdowns. 4,700 yards, these huge numbers, right? And they're not getting it, okay? You've had injuries, Sky Moore didn't work out, Rashee Rice has had his issues, Juju Smith-Schuster, he's just kind of not great. And Kelce's been kind of dying down a little bit too. He's been showing signs of age, right? And Mahomes has cranked it back up. His passing numbers are back to an elite level. We're going to talk NFL MVP later on in the show, and I'll get into that a little bit. But his passing numbers are where they were 3 years ago. Okay, that's when he's cooking. He's been one of the best running quarterbacks this year as well. Right there with Josh Allen, right there with Jalen Hurts, and so Pat Mahomes, and obviously he's got the multiple rings. Okay, he's got a dynasty right now, and Jalen Hurts does not. So I say Patrick Mahomes is more dangerous. Dennis Scott, you first on this one, man. Which one do I want to go with here? I like these. All right, I'm going to go with this one, DZ. Who is scarier? By the way, it's Beyond the Surface, X-Rated Sports Network. We love that you guys are watching the show right now. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, the X-Rated Sports Network, Beyond the Surface. Please subscribe and check us out over there. DZ, who is scarier, SGA or Jokic?
Ooh, good Lord grace. The scariest. Boy, that's a tough one. Ooh, that's a
Stumpage.
tough one. That
Do we need to? Do you
that
need?
is a
Is
tough
this
one.
Family Feud? I'm Steve
Ooh.
Harvey. It's Family Feud.
Ooh.
It's the lightning round, and you are blanking. Do you need to pass right now, DZ? Should we come back to you?
No.
That's a great question, though. It's a great question.
It's a great question, and it kind of feeds off our very first question. We were talking about Wemby, and right now today, even though SGA just won, I would still make the Joker scarier. And once again, I'm separating, forget about team, forget about that or this, that, and the other. I'm going to take a page out of AM's book. If you go talk to 30 GMs and you ask them, if you were building a team today and you had to take the number one pick, who would it be, SGA or the Joker? I think 29 out of 30 outside of OKC will pick the Joker. That's what I'm going with. The Joker is still scary. You see why they brought some of their pieces back together. Way back when he and Nurkic was playing together. And Rick, remember, you and I were still working then. And I said, this kid is going to help change the game. He was like, no, he's too slow. He's too this. And I said, well, when the ball goes through the hole, people around him play better. And I've seen a lot of guys that don't have a lot of athleticism, but they impact winning. So I stopped right there to answer your question. The scariest today is still the Joker.
Dr. X, you're next. Who's scarier, SGA or the Joker?
I'm gonna go with the Joker. He's just a harder to guard in terms of just like, well, not really hard to guard. I think they're about equal in terms of being hard to guard. It really depends who's guarding him, except for, Alex Caruso kind of thought they had figured something out, but they really didn't. Game 7, ultimately, when I was watching it, I was just like not really scared of SGA doing something, but the Joker doing something. And it was either going to be with his passing. He will dissect you there. He will also hit the three. He's a better 3-point shooter than SGA. I would say he can get fouled just as much if he wanted to initiate contact. SGA technically doesn't really get his team involved if you're looking at the numbers in terms of just pure assist. Joker is always flirting with like a extravagant triple double. He's always getting these rebounds like in 14 plus. He can flirt with almost 17 assists, 20 assists. So I'm gonna go with the Joker.
AM Pfeffer, you are up next. Who is scarier, Jokic or SGA?
Yeah, first of all, Dennis, I appreciate you giving me a little love there and all of this. And I'm sorry to disappoint you that I'm actually going to go the other way here and say SGA. You would otherwise think because of the mindset that, and I happen to agree with you. I think if you're starting from a GM level, you're saying Jokic. But the answer here in this respect is SGA, and here's why. Jokic is your triple-double, and you know what you have, and you know what you're getting night in and night out with him. And Denver is a team that gets paced that way throughout the game, right? That you know what you're trying to achieve in points, the way they play, the way they bring their players in, the way they're coached. It's interesting, but I mean, it's still exciting. It's still incredible because you want to see every second of it, but you almost know what they're trying to achieve every night. SGA, Oklahoma City is 6-0 this year, okay? And it is almost exclusively because of him. And it's almost why I said the other day, to me, he's the MVP. And I still say that today. NBA is crunch time. NBA is fourth quarter and overtime. Guys, what is he doing night in and night out? I mean, you look what sometimes he's got in these first 6 games through 3 quarters, or what his team is doing, or the position that they're in, and they do not lose because of SGA. He is downright damn frightening when it comes to the fourth quarter and overtime. I wouldn't want to see him. I mean, there's a point with Jokic that you get to the fourth quarter and you're down and you might just not get back in the game. I never feel that way with SGA. I feel like they're going to win every single time if they're within 6 going into the fourth quarter or overtime.
Dwight Walton, as we get it down to you, we have 2 Jokic's, we have one SGA. This is a critical vote you're about to levy here. I'm stuck. I can't wait to find out.
Most would think that I would go with my fellow Canadian Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, but because Nikola Jokic doesn't flirt with triple doubles. He averaged a triple double for the season. Last season, he has had a triple double in every game this season, and he is the sole reason that the Oklahoma City Thunder, who were grossly undermanned in terms of injury in their series against OKC, and they had a brand new coach trying to navigate playoff success after Michael Malone was let go with a week to go in the NBA season. Nikola Jokic almost willed the Nuggets to a 7-game victory on the road against the Thunder last season. So much to the point the Thunder went out and reacquired players. They feel that they have more depth. They got a sub for him in terms of Jonas Valanciunas this season, and they feel that they have a legit shot of coming out of the West because of those additions on the roster, and the main reason being Nikola Jokic. He will probably average a triple-double again this season, and that's what makes him the scarier proposition over Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. He may not be the better player, but I think he's the scarier proposition for any team in the NBA.
Jokic is going to pick up a win here. It's 3-1, but I'm going to cast a SGA vote here. This is a coin flip, obviously. It's very, very tough to distinguish between these two guys because they're very, very scary. They're recent champions, recent MVPs. The last 2 years, they have been neck and neck for MVP, and it's come down to these two guys. I fear SGA more in the clutch than I do Nikola Jokic. Jokic is a really good clutch player. SGA is an elite clutch player. Dare I say, kind of automatic in the clutch. I mean, the shot with 2 seconds left, opening night against Houston, right? Down 2, got to have it or you lose. Like, I would have been shocked or surprised had he missed that shot. He made the shot. He always makes that shot. Little midi for the tie or the lead with, 0.1 or 1.1 or whatever. He just, that shot's in his back pocket. And the ability to just you want 50 tonight? All right. Jokic can't do that. Jokic can give you a 30-point triple-double. He can give you a 30-20-10 triple-double. And all this stuff is crazy. But he can't just push a button and go, well, y'all need 40 tonight? Oh, J-Dub, dang, he turned his ankle, or, J-Dub's in foul trouble. All right, I need to crank it up. I need to hit him with 40 tonight. We know that SGA every single game is at 30, okay? He doesn't go 25, 35, and it averages out to 30. It's 30-plus every single game. And I know that Jokic is a triple-double every single game. But I will say SGA, just a little bit more dangerous than Jokic. You also have, guys, about a 3.5-year age difference between these guys. Jokic is about to be 31. SGA is a young 27. That's another thing. And SGA is probably the best conditioned athlete in the entire NBA. All right, the ability to play both ends, which Jokic cannot do. He kind of plays defense. SGA definitely plays defense. So I say SGA. All right, here's another mind bender. DZ, you go first. Who's scarier, Luka or Ant-Man?
Ant-Man. I don't need to say nothing else.
You are the best, DZ. Dwight Walton, you're up next. Dwight, take this opportunity. Maybe take Dennis deep if you want right here. I think.
Oh wow. These are great questions. Oh man. I'm gonna say Luka Doncic. He's taken his team to the NBA Finals. Definitely has more experience, without which helps, obviously. Ant is a good answer, Dennis, because of his confidence, his aura, if you will. But I think Luka has the same confidence, the same aura. Yes, he is insufferable when it comes to his banter with the officials. But in terms of the grand scope, I think Luka Doncic right now is the scarier proposition between he and Anthony Edwards.
Dr. X, you're next.
I'm gonna agree with my big cuz. I'm gonna say Luka. Luka just has that edge and gets it done in the clutch moments. I've seen the confident Anthony Edwards cower in the face of adversity, kind of like, oh yeah, this wasn't the goal or that wasn't the goal. Like even last year, like 13 points, Luka would never score 13 points ever in a deciding game or in a playoff series. Luka is he's going for blood every time. You can see the venom leaking out of his mouth when he's playing against you. I would say the only reason that really makes it hard is obviously the athleticism of Anthony Edwards. I know he's a better three-point shooter now, but his mid-range game, like Luka can hit everything on the floor, but defensively, it's Anthony Edwards. But I've seen when Anthony Edwards does too much defensively, his offensive game suffers. So I just think in terms of like a game 7, clutch moment, game within 5 points, 5 minutes to go. I'm going with Luka all day. I'm scared of Luka on the other side. Yeah.
I just want to give a quick shout out right here to our producer Jason and our engineer Kai. They do phenomenal work. The cutaways to Dennis while Doc, you and Dwight were talking. It's very, very, very good. Very, very, very good. All right, so we have here who's scarier, Luka or Ant-Man? AM Pfeffer, we have 2 Lukas, we have 1 Ant-Man. This is a very, very important vote right here. This could swing the thing. We could get a victory out of this. Who are you going with?
We're going with the victory. Luka Scarier. Luka literally, if he wants to and when he wants to, has his own gravity. That is scary. He literally can bend the game to his will. Ant-Man's not there yet. And Ant-Man's got qualities that make him scary in his own right, obviously. And I love the kid. And I love watching him. I can't wait till he comes back. I'm actually legitimately upset that he's out right now. And Rick, I'm sure you are as well, being a Timberwolves fan that you are. But Luka, yes. What he's capable of doing and getting everyone involved in handling it himself or getting everyone else on the team involved when he wants to, it's a different level. He really does. He has his own gravity. Few players have that.
Luka wins.
Rick, before you go ahead here, I think it's more, and I'm going to speak for Dennis here. He's going to get mad at me, but I think the reason why he says Ant-Man, it's how Ant makes him feel when he's watching the game as opposed to actual impact.
So I'm going to stop you right now because I don't like nobody speaking for me. I've never seen a superstar get traded for not playing defense. Ever. Ever.
That's a good answer. That's a great answer.
Ever.
Even when he's eating.
In case your damn ears ain't open. Ever.
Is that peanut butter and jelly, Daisy?
Respect.
Ain't nothing changed, Rick. Still peanut butter and jelly, man. I'm from the hood.
I love it.
I'm from the hood.
Oh, yeah.
So
no.
No. In all fairness and all love, I love Dwight, I love Doc, I love this damn show. That's the only problem I have with Luka. Luka can't stop a cold like my damn Cowboys right now. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. If we're talking about triple-double, we're talking about passes, yes, Luka's one of the greatest to ever lace up some shoes. Rick, you know me. Doc, you know me. Dwight, you get to know me. AM, I'm not a hater, but Luka is a liability. Now, what did Dallas do? They put defensive players around him. What did Philadelphia do back in the day for Allen Iverson? They put defensive players around him so Allen Iverson go score 50 a night. Stop playing with me. Until Luka starts playing defense consistently, he's going to be a liability. What happened the first couple games this year? He got his numbers, and whoever he was guarding, they got their numbers too.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
I would also say, I think
That's it.
I think, I mean, look, I love Ant-Man. Ant-Man taking 10 threes a game is a liability for his team. Like, that's not a winning
I agree.
formula. He took 10.
I agree. I agree.
He
No,
took 10.
hold on, Rick, hold on. Everything you're going to say, you're right. The question you asked me, though, who's scarier? If Ant-Man's mind's right, he can control the game defensively. Luka could never do that. Luka can never control the game defensively. Ant-Man has showed us that. Ant-Man can also show us, to your point, he'll take 18 threes in the game and be bad for his team. Well, we've seen some games where Luka's takes some bad shots and overshot too. But it still comes back to the foundation of both of those guys being superstars. I've never, ever seen a great player of that stature ever get traded, and we know the general manager very well. And the reason he got traded is because he won't play defense, and he wasn't for sure he would always come into camp in shape. He looks good right now, and I applaud him, but I need to see more before I say I'm scary of Luka because he's only on one side of the ball.
I get it. I would also say that, you know, because the points you're making about the history, Dennis, are fantastic. I think we also need to contextualize it a little bit, right? And to look, you're getting in the camera, you know, no superstars ever been traded because of lack of defense, right? And to me, there's a reason. Dumbassery is the reason. Dumbassery by the Dumont family, by the Adelson family, by Nico Harrison. There's a reason it's only happened one time, because it's moronic to do it. So that's more on Dallas management than it is on Luka. Like, to give up on, oh, he'll never. And what did Luka do? Immediately got himself into shape. He's on the cover of Men's Health. He's looking svelte. He's more active defensively. Is he a plus defender? No. Is he even a neutral defender at this point? I don't know. It's a work in progress. But just to your point on that, yes, you're right. And it's like comical and legit as well. But I just want to contextualize it. Okay. You have, I want to choose my words right here. Guys that don't get it. They're looking at the wrong stuff.
You said it. And I actually agree with you. If I was the ownership, I'd have been stuck. I'd have been stuck down the middle. If my GM come to me and say, hey, you know Luka's up for an extension. Oh, really? Yeah. 5 years, $345 million guaranteed, regardless if he comes in shape or not, or if he guards his shadow or not. Jeez, my goodness. Well, I'm trying to build a casino.
I'm jumping at that pen to sign that contract. I'm jumping at the pen, and
Rick, couldn't agree more with you. We had Cal on the other day talking about a business decision, right? And that is a business decision. Look what he did night after night, igniting that place. You're putting butts in the seats for 5 years, getting all your money back.
I'm with both of you. I'm with both of you. From a business standpoint, like my crazy ass owner in Dallas, I probably would have said, Luka, I'm going to sign you, and I'm going to be on your ass every day to make sure you're in shape so you keep butts in the seat.
See, that was my whole thing on this. You don't trade Luka. You work with him. You hold him accountable. You take the beer away from him and all this stuff. But anyway, here's my answer, guys. My answer is Luka. And it's close, and I got a lot of love for Ant-Man. I have an Ant-Man jersey. I do not have a Luka jersey, okay? So this one kind of hurts a little bit. But Luka is a tank. He's a tank. Ant Edwards is not a tank. Ant Edwards is a superhero, but he's not a tank. Luka's 6'8". The guy's a tank. He's a cross between Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. And I know, Ant-Man's got the lineage that you can trace back to guys like Kobe and Jordan. Okay, like, I get it. Luka is a 50-point threat every night. Ant-Man is a 40-point threat every night. Lastly, Luka has a 70-point game on his resume. He hit the Hawks a couple years ago with 73 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists. It's like the fourth greatest stat line in league history. Okay, so to me, he's a little bit scarier than Anthony Edwards. All right, guys. Here's a fun one. I just want to give you guys a fun one. Give me a quick answer here, and we're going to move on. AM Pepper, you first. Who is scarier, or what is scarier, a Steph Curry free throw or a Brandon Aubrey field goal?
Ooh. Ooh.
I took a chance there. It sounds like you kind of like it. I was like, is this too nerdy? I thought it was kind of
that.
cool.
No, I love it. I love it.
I like it.
I'm really letting the mind spin for a sec. Aubrey field goal scarier. I mean, it's like a Steph Curry free throw could be 8 to 15 of those a game. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I guess if we're putting it in context, like, is that the last shot of the game? Because a Brandon Aubrey field goal might be 3 a game, and certainly if he's trotting on the field, you know, for the Cowboys within 50 to 60 yards and he's trying to win you the game, you feel like it's over and he's going to win you the game. He's scarier. Or if he comes out of the field and it's like that 3 points matters, because it always does in football, no matter when during the game the 3 points are done, that matters. I mean, Steph might take a free throw, 2 minutes in to a game, and it's not going to matter in the stretch. An Aubrey field goal is scarier to me.
All right, so let's spice this up a little bit. What's scarier, a Steph Curry clutch free throw that you got to have, or a Brandon Aubrey clutch field goal that you got to have? Dwight, come on in.
Scarier, or you just know Steph is going to make it. Steph's going to make the free throw. Brandon Aubrey, all the Cowboys have to do is get the ball to midfield or slightly before midfield, and he's going to have a chance to make it. So it's I'm a Cowboy fan. I'm going to say Brandon Aubrey.
I love it. DZ, how about you?
Yeah, at first I thought it was going to be tough, but as much as I love Steph, I've been a Cowboy fan longer. Aubrey hasn't missed yet, and Steph Curry, as much as we love Steph has gone a few games where he'll miss a few free throws. You're like, what? The greatest shooter ever missing free throws? Aubrey hadn't missed yet, so I'm going with Aubrey.
Dr.
Yep.
X.
I agree. Now, if you said a 3-point shot from Curry in a clutch game in USA versus France,
Good
then
question.
I would
Yeah,
easily
yeah.
say
Yeah.
Steph. But the free throws, to Am's point, you're gonna get so many of those a game. And to 3D's point, I've seen this guy miss some free throws, especially when I had him on my fantasy team one time. I'm like, bro, you got one job. Like, that's all you had to do is hit the free throw. Like, come on, I can do that. But with Steph, with the Brandon Aubrey question, there's so much buildup in football. Like, the whole special teams has to come onto the field. There's there's so much buildup before he actually gets ready to kick the field goal. And then with Dwight's point, all you got to do is just get 50 yards, 50 to 60 yards, and you know it's good to go. So if you're the opposing defense, the pressure is on. Everybody's like, man, we can't let them pass this line. Almost like in the cartoons back in the day where they draw that line for the dog and he can't pass up. It gets like that. So I would say, yeah, the pressure is on, and a lot of people are feeling that pressure. So I'm gonna go with Brandon Aubrey.
I'm Brandon Aubrey as well. The points that you Doc and DZ made. I mean, Steph's a 90% guy, right? He's a 90% guy. He may finish his career with the greatest career free throw percentage in league history. Okay, but I've seen him miss. It does not happen very often. I love how mad he gets at himself when he misses, right? Like, he'll turn around and kind of walk off the free throw line like, are you serious? You suck, right? Or something like, athlete, like the farthest thing from it, but but anyway, so I love how he beats himself up when he misses a free throw. I'll make this quick and we can move on. Brandon Aubrey, I thought Justin Tucker was the most talented kicker I'd ever seen, and he was for a long time. Brandon Aubrey is past Justin Tucker. And I'm not talking about accomplishments, like Vinatieri with the rings and that guy. I'm just talking about talent kicking the dang football. Brandon Aubrey is the most talented football kicker I've ever seen. It never is outside of the middle of the uprights. And he's going to be the first guy to hit a 70-yard kick. And he, this is a joke. But there could be a debate for MVP of the Cowboys. It's just a joke. It's Dak Prescott. I'm just messing with my Cowboy fans out there. All right, let's talk Austin Reaves, guys. Austin Reaves adds a buzzer beater to his all-star campaign. All right, just a campaign. But 28 points, 16 assists against Minnesota, splits the double team, comes downhill, gets below the free throw line. Dante DiVincenzo presents, And Austin Reeves stopped on a dime, shot it a little higher, splash, win. They go crazy. There's a takeover going on here, the rise of Reeves. Media studs like Stephen A. Smith, Kenny Smith, acting like this is kind of new from Reeves, which is weird. Kenny's calling him Linsanity 2.0 or whatever that is. Lin was good for like 2 weeks and obviously had a longer career, but Linsanity, Dr. X, how long was that? 2 weeks, a month? Something like that?
It felt like
Something
that.
like
It
that,
felt like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
And I mean, he was on the
And
cover
then,
of Sports Illustrated. It was
yeah.
crazy. But Reeves has been good since his rookie year. He was a 25-5 guy last year. There's very few guys in the league that go 25-5 with the points, rebounds, and assists. If you have, and I'm not talking to you guys, just audience members, if you all have watched the rise of Reeves, okay, maybe you saw him a little bit at Oklahoma, and then, with the Lakers and stuff. If you've kind of been watching this whole thing, you know how slick he is. That's the word I use for Reeves. The guy's slick, okay? How skilled he is, how good he is at drawing fouls, setting up teammates, making winning plays that don't make the box score. But this is how I knew Reeves was a thing, I don't know, like 3 years ago. LeBron loved him, okay? And they played well together. LeBron's dapping him up. LeBron's saying really, really respectful stuff in the media about him. And I was like, yeah, because you see it. But then when you hear LeBron talk about him and how LeBron vibes with him, I'm like, yep, I'm sold. Austin Reeves is the goods. I said 3 years ago he's got all-star potential. And I never said he's going to make an all-star team, but I said he's got all-star potential. This was 3 years ago, okay? So this is not new to me. Dr. X, I go to you first here. Is the Reeves Linsanity comp legit?
Well, I think DZ, you want to go first? I saw your hand up.
Yeah, I had I didn't
Oh,
want
my
to
bad. I missed that.
No, that's okay. It's how do I say it? And I'm actually going through it right now in real time. Being with NBA TV and TNT for 17 years, if I'm being totally honest to our viewers, I'm probably watching 90% NBA and 10% NCAA. Well, now, literally in the last 30 days, Rick, and to our viewers, it's flip-flopped. I've watched probably 70% NCAA and 30% NBA because of my now working with ESPN and the ACC network. So now, for some of us who have kids, as you know, my older son, my youngest of the oldest, my two boys, they're in college. So I've always had one eye on college basketball. I said, Rick, 3 years ago, that whoever was drafting in that draft when he came out, all 30 GMs need to be smacked in the face because, to your point, I said, this kid's crafty. He knows how to play. He plays hard. He makes winning decisions. He takes charges. Yeah, he's not super athletic. So what? We get caught up in the picture. But does he impact winning? And the other night in Minnesota with no Luka, no LeBron, and how he picked Minnesota apart. Yeah, no Ant-Man, I get that. But he still played winning basketball. And I think that was perfect for him and his brand to prove to the basketball world, this kid can really play. And when LeBron and Luka come back, don't forget about him.
I love it. Well, Rick, I would say respectfully, I think it's a disrespect to make the comparison to Linsanity. Um, I think Austin Reeves clearly is the better player and is the bigger impact because, to Stephen A's point, he was the third best. He's the best third player on in the NBA. If a part of the big three, he's the best
Hmm.
third player, meaning that if this guy was going to be another team, he'd probably be their second best player. Linsanity was like a role player after those 2 weeks or a month or whatever it is. The next couple seasons, a role player, and wasn't even a star in his role. So I would say with Reeves, this guy, he's a legit number two, possibly a number one. I mean, even his assist, for him to be able to score so easily, he's very slithery. For him to get those assists as well, I really like what I'm seeing from Austin Reeves, and he has a clutch gene as well. And he can score anywhere on the floor. If it's a deep three, if it's a three at the shot clock, if it's a free throw, if it's a floater in the lane, if it's a pretty dope pass, if it's a cut. This guy can just hurt you so many ways. So I'm gonna go with Austin Reeves, and I'm really excited to see where he ends up in his career.
Yeah, me too. Dwight Walton, is the Linsanity Reeves comp legit or not?
Oh, it's definitely not legit at all. Austin Reeves has been doing this for several seasons now. And this is where I sometimes, and I'll be the first to admit it, I have a disconnect with certain media members when they make these takes. Stephen A. Smith talking about how could DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine allow Austin Reeves to drop 51 points on you guys, and then you have Kenny Smith, who apparently watches the NBA on a night in, night out basis and has a great job and does a great job as an analyst with the Inside the NBA crew. He's acting as if he's never seen Austin Reeves play. I think it was a very disrespectful statement to compare him to Linsanity. Linsanity literally dropped right in front of our faces. Austin Reeves has been doing this for several years, and to be able to average 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists alongside LeBron James and Luka Doncic should just speak to how great of a basketball player Austin Reeves is and has been for the past several seasons. Now, did we expect Austin Reeves to drop 51 one night, 41 the next night, and then without LeBron and Luka beat a playoff team, albeit without Anthony Edwards? But I think if you go down man for man and compare rosters, the Wolves have a better roster than the Lakers currently do. Austin Reeves, who is now the focal point of the opposition scouting report, still went out there and dropped 28 points, 16 assists, made countless great defensive plays, either with steals or deflections, and made the game-winning shot over a possible Western Conference Finals appearance team in the Minnesota Timberwolves. So it's disrespectful. There's no comparison. Lynn burst onto the scene. Reeves has been doing this for the past several seasons, and he's now getting the opportunity, because Doncic and James aren't in the lineup, to show what he truly can do if a team is focused around him. He has been fantastic for years, and I'm not surprised at all at what he's doing, and it's completely disrespectful to compare it to Linsanity.
AM, you get the final word on this one.
Yeah, I appreciate that. No, I mean, there's no comparison. But I'm so glad, actually, what Stephen A. Smith said, and I'm so glad what Kenny Smith said as well, because this is the discourse that's needed, to tell you the truth. This debate is very good for the country. These guys took a lot of flack, and they're going to continue to take flack, and they're continuing to take flack, and they're both going to be fine from it, and they're just going to move off of it, and it's going to roll off their back and all of that. But what's happening underneath in a lot of social media channels, in Reddit threads, and the conversation that's being had, this is progress, and this is the conversation and the conversations that should be being had. So I like that. I want to turn this around, not just about Reeves. I want to take this to a little bit bigger level with the Lakers and that game against Minnesota the other night. I thought what ultimately transpired was fantastic, and I want to give JJ Redick a lot of credit for making it happen, because I think before the game, and again, not a fly on the wall, wasn't there, no idea what was actually said, but I feel like he probably went up to Austin Reeves and said, you know what, man, I don't need you to be Luka tonight. I need you to be Tyrese Halliburton. And that's exactly what he did and went out and did with his 16 assists and the way that he played that game. I mean, seriously, think about it and go back and watch that game again, or parts of the game, because that's really what transpired. He thrust Lavravi into the starting lineup. Rui had a really good night that night. DeAndre was playing well. Your boy Dalton Connect, with the much maligned, put in his points off the bench and all of that. It was just a great Lakers win across the board, and the tone was set by Austin Reeves, who is absolutely establishing himself this year, especially in these last 3 or 4 games, as a legitimate force.
Right now he's in the All-Star game, guys. Go ahead, DZ.
No, to add to that point, AM, that you're making, if you have done your homework, you weren't surprised what Austin was doing. So AM, to tap into your point, JJ said, yo, go beat Austin from Oklahoma. Go beat Austin from AAU. Because you just, Dwight, you played the game, you understand, you just can't hit a switch. You have to have done it before. You have to have that swag and the way he was playing and split the double team and shoot the little floater. Rick, you've been around us long enough. That's the part why Stephen A. and Kenny Smith didn't look say depart because they hadn't seen him play in college. They hadn't seen him play in AAU versus other guys when they've seen him play. Oh, I can't believe I see this kid. He played with my son last summer because they're quick to acknowledge that. That's why most of us weren't surprised to see Austin Reeves play as well as he did because the swagger he's always had. JJ said, man, there's no LeBron, there's no Luka, man, go and tap into back the Oklahoma guy we know you can be.
Mm-hmm.
That is Dennis Scott, three-point pioneer. We have Dr. X, the creator of this show, foremost radiologist in America, Dwight Walton, Canadian basketball legend. He's lower left. AM Pfeffer, anchor, author, businessman, and sports analyst to a elite level. He's in the upper left. I'm Rick Kamla. We're Beyond the Surface on the X-Rated Sports Network. And Corey, who was watching and put a comment out, said, this is a gem of a show. You always keep it 100. What's the one trade that would shock the world this season? Now, Corey, really, really appreciate you watching and giving us a question to sink our teeth into here. And it segues perfectly into where I wanted to go next. Anyway, which was, should LeBron ask for a trade? I believe the answer is yes. And not right now. In advance of this deadline, I think he needs to ask for a trade. I actually think the Lakers should already be kind of like preparing their brain for that process. I would not go to the summer of 2026 with LeBron as a UFA. I would not, okay? I would try to get something for him now. It's obvious to everybody that this Lakers roster has no chance to win a title. It's obvious, okay? None. As constructed, no chance to win a title. And I know you got Luka, LeBron, and Reeves, and it's a phenomenal big three. What else you got? Okay, you got to have others to win a championship, and I'm not a fan of their others. Luka's a badass. He's in shape. I love that. But he also picks up little injuries, misses games throughout his career. He's on the shelf right now. He's soft-ish. Not soft, soft-ish. He's averaged 64 games over his career. 64. That's minus 18. And so he's awesome, but kind of unreliable. This is the most top-heavy roster in the league. But if you're LeBron, he's already had the steering wheel taken away from him. He had the steering wheel. He no longer has it. He probably feels kind of rudderless right now. I've been the guy, now Luka's the guy. This sucks. Genie's not even the owner anymore. Mr. Walter's now the owner. Have I even been introduced to him? I don't know. So, and I know he doesn't want to leave LA, all right? But you might have to. Chris Paul didn't want to take a bench role, but to get back into the league, he had to take a bench role with the Clippers. And so, guys, I think this is that trade. This is that trade. And Dr. X, I want to go to you first. Answer Corey's question. I say a LeBron trade, and I believe that it would be Dallas. Okay, not Golden State. I don't see the puzzle pieces fitting with a Laker Golden State trade. I do see the puzzle pieces fitting with a Dallas and LAL trade. Doc, you up here on Corey's question. What would be the one trade that would shock the world this season?
Definitely, I would say the one trade would be LeBron, but destination would be Cleveland or Dallas. But the question is for who? And that's why it just doesn't make sense. Like, for who? Will he retire? Like, which player are you giving up for LeBron? But to your point, Rick, you don't want to wait beyond trade deadline because then you'll lose him as an unrestricted free agent in the offseason. So I would say it would be nice for him to end his career in Cleveland. I think he could give that edge that Cleveland needs. They're powder puffs right now, and I think Evan Mobley, even though he's Defensive Player of the Year, he doesn't have that edge. Like, he needs to become the most improved player this year for them to make that next leap. But I think someone like LeBron could be the missing piece for Darius Garland and for our guy Mitchell. But I think all in all, I would like to see him on Cleveland. There's too much business being done with Dallas and LA. I'd rather see that stop at this point.
I love it. The Nico Harris and Rob Pelinka little summit. It's been fruitful. DZ, you next. Corey asked, what's the one trade that would shock the world this season?
Well, I have one per conference for you to shake things up. Does Trae Young, he didn't get his extension, right?
He did not. He is heading towards unrestricted free agency. Well, he's got a player option, which he'll opt out on him. So yes, right now as it stands, he's heading for unrestricted free agency.
I knew you correct me. Perfect. So do the Hawks say, well, we got Porzingis, we went out and got this guy, we gave Alexander money. Do we go out and use Trae to make our team better? Do we shake things up? Because same thing, Trae wants 5 years. I think Trae's one of those 245 type guys too, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. Yeah, it's like 5 and 229 or something like that.
Yeah, so Hawks, you made the playoffs. You kind of been mediocre. Your number one pick from a year ago. I like him. I'm not crazy about him, but I like him. Do you use Trae to shake things up? And lastly, and this one kind of hurts my heart because I just love the kid as a human being, but New Orleans, they fired the whole front office and bring in Joe D. Do you guys still believe in Zion? His body looks great, and I love the highlights. But do you really still believe in Zion? Those are my two possible wild trades.
I love it. I love it. Dwight, get in here, man. Corey wants to know the one trade that would shock the world this season.
Well, I'll make the obligatory LeBron statement first. First of all, before LeBron can get traded, he would have to approach the Laker management and ask for a trade because he has a no trade clause. And I'm going to go with Phil. I think it would make sense for him to go back to Cleveland. If I'm the Cleveland Cavaliers, excuse me, if I'm the Lakers, I would want one of Darius Garland, Jared Allen, or Evan Mobley, along with some draft capital in return. So will Kobe Altman and the Cleveland front office agree to that to bring LeBron back to Cleveland? I think LeBron is possibly the missing piece to enable Cleveland to get over the top in terms of an Eastern Conference championship and get back to the NBA Finals. But it would have to be an agreement on both sides, especially from LeBron, because LeBron has a no trade clause. But to DZ's point, Trae Young, there's a reason why the Hawks didn't extend him this past summer. They want to see, and this is arguably the best roster that has been assembled by Onsi Salah, the new GM, who took over for Landry Fields last season, and they didn't really open the door to extending him because they want to see if Trae can lead this roster to a further showing in the Eastern Conference playoffs. Now, they are off to a rough start. It is Quinn Snyder has to get this collection of players together on both ends of the floor before they can truly evaluate what is happening with that roster. But that being said, if they get to the All-Star break / trade deadline, which happens at pretty much at the same time, and the Hawks aren't doing well, don't be surprised if the Atlanta Hawks front office rocks the boat and is asking for takers for Trae Young. I think that would be a trade that would not shock the NBA, but it would rock the NBA. Because I think Trae Young, who wants to be in Atlanta, I know that for sure, who wouldn't want to be in Atlanta? And Dennis can attest to this. But at the same time, if things aren't working out with Trae Young, don't be surprised if that front office will seriously consider wanting to move on from Trae Young. I think that would be a trade that would somehow rock the landscape of the NBA.
AM, give Corey one trade that would shock the world this season, or multiple.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this notion of shocking the world. So I don't think trading Trae Young, if you haven't given him his extension yet, would shock the world. I don't think trading Zion would shock the world. I don't even think trading LeBron would necessarily shock the world, because there's a lot of people who are looking at all three of those guys, and there's a lot of discussion every day about the potential of potentially trading them. Right now, the way the NBA is shaking out right now, there's two that jump to mind. The first is Giannis, right? Because all of a sudden the Bucks actually look pretty decent this year, and there's no reason to trade him just yet. Okay, but he is still the front runner to be on the move at some point, right? He's only got 2 years left on this deal. He's talked about moving on if they don't build around him the right way. We're going to see how the year plays out. But if it happens this year and early enough this year, that would actually shock the world. The other guy that comes to mind for me is Jaylen Brown. That's who I see would shock tremendously. I mean, right? You're talking about the Celtics, who have been absolutely at the top of the East the past couple of years. The start of this year, not so much, although the past couple of games have been great. He was phenomenal in the game the other night. I mean, absolutely just took over and was astounding and really got it done the other night. So he's a name that jumps to mind, especially because you'd be talking about breaking up, those two wings and the potential of Tatum coming back next year. So those are the two guys that really jump out at me. Now, as far as LeBron is concerned, man, I'm trying to understand this. And I look, Rick, I want us to all be careful about saying too much about the Lakers have no chance of winning the NBA title. Again, who doesn't think so? Vegas, baby. They've got them and still do in the top 7 or 8 teams in terms of the odds to win the championship. So there's a lot of belief out there, and I bet there's a lot of money and a lot of action on them. And I don't think that any of that money that's being put on them is with the notion that LeBron gets traded back to Cleveland at some point and other guys are coming back. I mean, this is the nucleus that people are betting on, and this is the nucleus right now through 82 games of the season, LeBron included, that is a top 8 team to win the title, at least according to Vegas. And we all know, never bet against Vegas. Having said that, I don't know why LeBron needs to be traded. I don't know where he needs to go at this point. I don't know why it needs to be back to Cleveland or Dallas or an Orlando who needs to shake things up and things aren't going so well this year. Who has the pieces to do what? Dwight made a great point. He has a no trade clause. So that's a larger conversation to be had. But I don't get or even know LeBron's mindset at this point. He's not playing right now. How hurt is he really? He's 40-something years old. We're talking about, there was the bit controversy in the offseason a little bit with this secondary decision that was made and all of this. I mean, what is he trying to prove at this point? Does he need to be traded? He's still playing with his son, Bronny, to an extent. At least they're in the same city, supposedly, day in and day out. So what is the point, or why does he need to be traded? I'm not so sure he's worth talking about in such a way. I'm more interested in knowing that the Lakers actually stay together. And I said it a couple of shows ago, and I still believe this. They're a strange team throughout the regular season, but I do actually believe they're built for the postseason. I don't think he needs to be traded.
That is A.M. Pfeffer, Dwight Walton, Dennis Scott, Dr. Phil McDonald. I'm Rick Kamla. We welcome now to Beyond the Surface on the X-Rated Sports Network our buddy B-Dot, a.k.a. Brandon Armstrong. Brandon, we'll bring you in on this. Corey asks us a question. What's the one trade that would shock the world this season? So what's a trade in the NBA that you think would shock the world this season? And what's up, B-Dot?
How you doing, man? Just pick my kids up from school. Ready, had to hop right in, man. How everybody doing good? Y'all look good, fellas.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
good,
We chilling,
bro.
man. We chilling. Trying to be like you.
Well, I mean, to piggyback off Schaefer a little bit. I like that. I like that the Giannis shot. But what I think would shock the world is the Karl Anthony Towns trade. I'm sorry, Professor. I'm sorry, Dr. X. But Giannis, they got to get Giannis in New York. Get Giannis to New York. Package Karl up with something else. Throw
Pack
in
'em
Josh
up.
Hart. You might want to. It'll be hurt to throw in Mikal Bridges, but it's gonna have to be between Mikal and OG, and I think they might want to keep OG just for the defensive aspects. He's a big body, and he can knock down that three. He's gotten better with the three. But I'm thinking I like a Karl Anthony Towns trade. To Giannis to New York.
I like it. I like
Dr.
it.
Phil. All right. Go ahead, Dwight. Come on in.
If I can say one more thing here, wouldn't it be crazy to think Ryan Rollins keeps Giannis Antetokounmpo in Milwaukee? The question coming into this season, who would be the point guard for the Milwaukee Bucks? We thought it was the acquisition of Cole Anthony. Kevin Porter Jr. has done a pretty decent job as a point guard. He's now on the injury shelf, as we know. Ryan Rollins has parlayed his opportunity over these past several games to where Doc Rivers, who normally doesn't trust rookies, if he has the choice, he will go with vets over young, inexperienced players. Wouldn't it be something if Ryan Rollins, if this somehow can continue and be sustained over the next several months, hopefully, as far as the Bucks franchise and fan base are concerned, if Rollins can somehow maintain consistency and the confidence that he has used over this opportunity here, it'll be amazing to see if Ryan Rollins is the one that keeps Giannis Antetokounmpo in a Milwaukee uniform going forward and into the future.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
We
B
can't
Dot.
hear you on mute. Mute.
We
Still can't hear
got
you.
some issue. B Dot, can we hear you?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got
yeah,
you now.
yeah.
We got you now.
Yeah.
You had something to say, man. Get it off your chest.
Yeah, I don't think it would be enough. Ryan's a great young player. He had a hell of a last end of the season of last year, and it's looking really good this year. But I don't think it's enough to keep Giannis. Giannis, he wants to win another championship. I know his loyalties to Milwaukee, but I mean, come All Star, you feel me? I don't think. Nah, we'll see. Come All Star, I don't know. You know what their record is. I just don't think they have enough. Kuzma hasn't. He hasn't gotten better. Miles Turner's averaging 8.5 points. Like Giannis is literally out there doing everything. He's doing
Mm-hmm.
everything. You know, and it takes a toll. You know, kind of how. I mean, he got his ring, but you know, kind of how LeBron was with the Cavs. You know, he was doing everything. It was a lot, and this how this squad is. This how the squad is looking. The NBA is completely different from the LeBron years, and I don't think Giannis is going to be able to carry that team by himself to an Eastern Conference Finals and to make it to an NBA Finals. So I'm thinking, yeah, it's not enough. And Ryan's a hell of a player, hell of a future, but not in my opinion.
I agree.
Interesting.
I think.
So go
Yeah.
ahead.
No, I think it might let the Bucks ownership be more inclined to make the trade, if anything, at this point. I also was wondering when they sat him down, because it came out of the blue. I don't know if Leon Rose like started heating up the trade conversations and said, "All right, we're closer to a trade now. Make sure you sit Giannis tonight." That was an NBA TV game. That was Giannis versus Steph Curry, and literally like an hour before, 30 minutes before. And Giannis is on my fantasy team, so I was kind of hurt by that. That he pretty much was out, went from probable to out. There was no buildup. And it was kind of like what happened with Lamar Jackson, Rick, like what we discussed last week or last
Right.
show. It was out the blue.
And they won by 10 without
Yeah.
Giannis. That was an impressive win by the Bucks, and Ryan Rollins has been fabulous. May have put himself into the running for Player of the Week in the Eastern Conference at this point.
MIP, most improved.
There you go. I mean, he's looking good for that right now. B-Dot, what's the best thing you've seen in the NBA over the last week? Top of mind. What's the best thing you've seen in the NBA over the last week?
AR-15, man, the best third option in the league. Hey, give the keys to him. Trade Luka, trade Bron. Give the keys to Austin Reeves, man. Give it to him, man. That boy, come on, man. You see his numbers? They matching side with Shea. Give him the keys, man. Trade the house.
I love
man, but just to see Austin Reeves take over a whole new role, take over that number one role, especially after the playoff performance he had last season, and just lead that team, to a 500 record and to put up those numbers. He didn't have the best shooting game, but he got to that free throw line. I mean, I think he was like 21 for 22 for free throws. Also had 10 assists. Like, come on, man, he looked like Luka out there. He looked like a fit Luka. And I got to give my flowers to Austin Reeves, man. And he even said it. He was like, man, it's a different role. He's prepared, to take that spot when he needs to. But he was like, man, come on, bring Bron, bring Luka back. This is a lot on me. This is a lot. That third eye, it's a little bit different when you got to perform night in and night out when the lights are on you. And he definitely did that. And the Lakers, they're gonna have to break the bank for that boy. They're gonna have to. He just proved himself early in the season that he could carry a team. Had DeAndre Ayton out there looking good, 17 and 10. Rui Hachimura, Lavaria. Who's 12? Y'all know who 12 is now. Jake Lavaria.
Jake LaRavia.
Come on now, like,
Good call.
them
Good
Caucasian
call.
boys out there doing the
Yes.
thing. Come on, man.
Yes.
Like Jerry West and Larry Bird out there.
So this is to the question that we had earlier in terms of LeBron James. If the Lakers should break the bank, and pay Austin Reeves, you can't keep LeBron James. So that is a decision that Rob Pelinka and that Lakers front office has to make going forward. And that's why, to me, the big story, either at the trade deadline or next offseason, is going to be LeBron. I mean, we could talk about who's going to shock the world in terms of a trade. But LeBron,
wait, Dwight, why can't they keep LeBron if they pay off?
LeBron makes too much. Because LeBron makes too much money.
Oh, he makes too much money this year at 52.6, but he's off the books. Why couldn't he come back if he wants to stay another year or two at $25-30 million? Does he have to keep making that money?
I'll answer that question, AM. I think right now, whatever team LeBron goes to, if he's about winning, whatever team LeBron goes to, he will absolutely have to take less money in this CBA world. That's so we all know he wants to stay in Los Angeles. I'm in LA a lot more frequently these days myself. I love LA. Nobody wants to leave LA. All right. So LeBron understands going forward, whatever team he plays for, especially if it's for a contender in the CBA world, he is going to have to take a substantial haircut in terms of salary per season. So does he do it with LA? Does he do it with Cleveland? Does he do it with New York? He will have the pick of the litter in the NBA, but he has to understand he is not going to make the $52 million that he opted into this season with the Lakers. Maybe that's why he opted into it. He doesn't need the money. We understand that. But maybe he took this big contract this season, understanding that going forward, he will in all likelihood might have to take only the veterans minimum if he wants to be on a contending roster going forward. Not the Wizards, not the Hornets, not one of those bottom tier teams. If he wants to be on a contender, he'll have to take a substantial haircut to fit on any roster after this season.
And another reason that makes him hard to trade, right? Because who knows what he's willing to do after the fact. If somebody's actually going to give up assets for him this year, pay out his salary, and then ultimately decide, is he going to give us another 2 years at somewhat of an elite level, right? And what's he going to charge us to do it? And that's something to consider before you're giving up assets. Again, it's hard to know where LeBron is at mentally right now, or what he's even thinking, or how much longer he's going to play the game. I think that makes him very hard to trade. And as you mentioned, Dwight, he's got a no-trade clause. I don't see him moving.
Brandon Armstrong hanging out with us here on Beyond the Surface on the X-Rated Sports Network. I have one more question for you. What's the worst thing you've seen in the NBA over the last week?
That's a great question, Rick. The worst thing I've probably seen in the NBA the last week. Oh, man, I'm gonna be honest. It's probably the last month. It's the Houston Rockets. I know Fred VanVleet went down, and that's a good veteran point guard. But with that roster, I think they finally got their first win with Kevin Durant. Had a hell of a game, or maybe their second win, but they were a disappointment. The season's still early, but my other disappointment is probably Kyle Kuzma. I was hoping to see some type of, I don't even want to say leap, just some type of improvement. When he was with that Lakers squad, he was that, that third, kind of fourth option, and he thrived. And we thought, okay, him going to Milwaukee is going to give him a little bit more freedom. We're going to see him develop, and we're going to see him, take the reins off and see the Kyle Kuzma that we thought that he was, and it still hasn't done anything. Still hasn't gotten there. So, yeah, them probably my only two disappointments. It's nothing really crazy. I mean, outside of the Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins, if we're talking all sports in general, just a disappointment. Lamar came off the couch, 18 for 23, four touchdowns. Looked amazing out there. Tua, yeah, man. I mean, outside of that, I did see a flat competition, power competition. They need to ban that. It's the CTE, all the crazy stuff going on there. But I think that's probably my disappointment. It's all put together, with all sports combined.
I love it.
And Klay Thompson,
Love
man,
it.
come on, Klay, do something for me.
Yeah.
goodness, you don't
Oh,
wipe your legs down and don't forgot how to
you-
play basketball.
you
Let's
got
get back to this.
B dot. Okay, you just hit a nerve with me. Not like we have a thing, but like with Klay Thompson. I'm a huge Klay Thompson fan. Okay, like he's one of my favorite players. He's the second best shooter of all time, in my opinion. I love that he's like kind of unique, right? He's got his boat, the captain hat. He's just kind of he's a different dude, right? Like I vibe with that. But guys, I'm wondering if Klay Thompson's washed, or if it's just early in the year and he's not in shape yet, not lathered up. Guys, I mean, like I had a little Klay Thompson tickle in fantasy basketball, a little one, like last pick of the draft, right? All right, last pick. I need some threes. All right, let's get Klay. Can you give me 14 points and close to 4 threes a game? He's not even averaging double figures right now. The shooting numbers are horrendous. So I don't want him to be washed. I hope he's not washed. But currently looks kind of washed to me right now. DZ, come on in here, man. Do you still want Klay Thompson to let it fly?
As my nephew, I would like to see it fly, but if I'm keeping it a buck for our viewers, the Stallion has taken the rest of those legs. There's no legs left in those legs. Those legs are so far gone. If you know anything about Texas women, them legs is gone, baby. Cause legs are gone.
I do know a thing or two about Texas women.
So I'm just gonna be honest. He walks out of there with a smile on his face. He said, I got rings, I got a lot of money, and now I'm just riding off into the sunset, baby. Pun intended.
And shooting 30%.
Stop.
Oh
Hey,
gosh, I
listen
love
to me.
it. I
Y'all
love
all
it.
know when it hit the news that it was official that he was dating the beautiful and most talented Megan Thee Stallion, we all said, damn, congratulations. It's been a hell of a career. Your legs are gone. Your legs are gone. Your legs are gone.
Hold on.
love it.
From what I know, a woman is supposed to enhance a career, not bring down a career.
She's enhancing. She's come right along at the right time at the end of his career, enhancing his career. This would have happened in
Smooth
second or third
transition.
year or fourth year when they're trying to win championships. I'd have been a little nervous because he wouldn't have had no legs.
You know what though? It's when you're running a front office, you have to be able to prognosticate or see into the future. And the Golden State Warriors, they saw Klay Thompson every day. They saw the step being lost. They saw the step being lost, especially defensively. You'll always be able to shoot, but he brought the total package. And the Warriors, I don't think it was it may have looked difficult through the eyes of the fans and the media, but internally, I don't think it was a very difficult decision to allow Klay Thompson to walk away from that franchise. And what we're seeing now is basically what the Warriors saw a couple of seasons ago. And Klay Thompson could definitely be on a roster, but will he have the same impact? I think what we're seeing right now is the end of a career. I'm not going to say he's washed, but he has a lot to do in terms of being consistent. And we haven't seen it since he signed with Dallas. He has shown flashes, but the overall consistency for Klay Thompson, I think those days are clearly behind him.
B-Dot, anything to add to this, man?
Man, I don't want to say he's washed. I think it's just a regress. He hasn't really been the same after the injuries. You know, he hasn't been the same Klay, and like Dwight said, they seen it in Golden State, and you know we're seeing it now. You know, outside of Meg, you know, he really doesn't have any lift on his shot. His shot isn't really consistent. So, you know, all we can do is just enjoy it while we can. One of the greatest shooters one of the top two shooters of all time, to be able to still play the game. And, hopefully, when Anthony Davis, Kyrie come back, they get full surface, that it'll take some of the amount off his legs, and he'll be able to, produce, give us 3 threes a game, 2.5. I think he'll be able to do that with the squad he has, and the shots that he will have available, because he will be open a lot. But yeah, like Big D said, man, it's that stallion. He in Dallas. Them legs, them legs. He's an equestrian now. He's an equestrian. Hats off to Klay Thomas, man. We love you. We love you. Kentucky Derby.
You the man. B-Dot, thanks for dropping in, man. Any final words here? You ready to dip out and go back to your fam, man?
Man, my mom always told me that if you shoot for the stars and you only make it to the clouds, you're still a lot higher than a lot of other people. All right, so that's my word of wisdom right there.
Love it.
Love
I
it.
love it.
Love it.
B-Dot, you the man. Thank you. Brandon Armstrong, ladies and gentlemen. All right, fellas, let's get back to our kind of Halloween, in and out of the Halloween theme here. One more. And I have a feeling based on our group text that you guys are going to take me deep here. I'm going to jump right in, all right? It's Beyond the Surface, X-Rated Sports Network, Rick Kamla, Dennis Scott, Dr. Phil McDonald, Dwight Walton, AM Pfeffer. We have Jason and Kai behind the glass. I've named 5 teams. You guys can name one. You can just take shots at mine, like wherever we want to go with this. But the idea is, who is masquerading as pretenders? All right, teams who are masquerading as pretenders, NFL and NBA. I got 5 for you. The Los Angeles Clippers. They're masquerading as pretenders. Pardon me, I'm reading that wrong. They're masquerading as contenders. Pardon me. All right, I'll make this quick. The Clippers still have James Harden. James Harden is the playoffs have not gone well for him. I call him the GOAT of playoff shrinkage because he is. He is very, very prone to horrible game 5, game 6, game 7. And there's no end in sight to that. It's always been that way. And so I think it's going to continue to be that way. Clippers, the Lakers. We've talked about it a lot. The top-heavy roster. I don't like the others. And AM, to your point, like Vegas can think what they want. You can think what you want. I'm over here in Camland. I'm on Camla Island. It's very, very nice here. It's some paradise weather. It's cool. So I'm not seeing it. Like, and this is a team that they go to first round, they lose. So I'm not seeing a long playoff run from the Lakers. The Milwaukee Bucks, to me, are pretenders. They're masquerading as a contender. I'm not crazy about the roster. I know Ryan Rollins is playing well. Can he sustain this? The Kuzma thing has been a disaster since they traded for him. And Giannis is doing everything. He's already missed a game with that pesky knee. And let's go to the NFL. The Indianapolis Colts, 7-1. You've got 2 MVP candidates in Jonathan Taylor and Daniel Jones. The problem is Daniel Jones, right? And I'm gonna put the Seahawks in the same bucket here. The Seahawks are 6-2. They have Sam Darnold. All right, and we go back to Harden a little bit here. The book on Daniel Jones, he always lets you down in the biggest games. Okay, always. The book on Sam Darnold, we saw it last year with Minnesota. Huge year, great stats. Last game of the regular season, face plant. First playoff game, face plant. They got destroyed by 200 points by the LA Rams. So because of Daniel Jones, I'm anticipating a face plant in a big game. And I think I think the Steve. Well, hold on. And then for the Seahawks, Sam Darnold is going to ultimately get in the way. I know the Seahawks have a killer defense and they've got talent, all this stuff. But the Clippers, the Lakers, the Bucks, the Colts, and the Seahawks, those are my 5 teams masquerading as contenders. Guys, feed if you want. Where are we going with this? Who's next?
I'll grade you, Rick. I like your list. I like your list a lot. I would say for your grade, I would give you an A minus. I agree with the Seahawks. I agree with the Indianapolis Colts. I agree with the Clippers, really because of Bradley Beal. I thought he would have been happy to be back in LA because I think that's where he spends a lot of the offseason. And he's already missing games. So that's just such a buzzkill right there. And if they're going to take that next leap, I was expecting Bradley Beal to have something to do with it. And then John Collins hasn't really been that great either. I thought he was going to at least start or have some impact but he hasn't been great either. So I think they're pretenders. I disagree with the Laker thing. I like Dwight's take, I think last show, or maybe in our group chat, where he says, as long as you have Luka and LeBron in the same team, you're never pretending. I agree with that. I think when they played OKC at the end of last year and they kind of smacked them in the mouth, I think it gave OKC a wake up call. And I think the Lakers are probably a couple trades away from being legit if they keep LeBron. I'm not sure who they're going to do that, who they're going to trade, but I think the team I would add and love to add would be part of the Knicks team, and that's the bench. The bench of the New York Knicks are the biggest pretenders. We were so amped about them. We were like saying their names, like their names were in lights, like Jordan Clarkson, Gershon Yabusele. He dunked on LeBron in the last year in the Olympics, but I just don't see it with the system, and I definitely don't see it with the bench. I know it's early, but their benches are
Stop
definitely
there. It's early.
pretenders.
Stop. It's early. Stop there. It's early.
No, so sometimes you got to be ahead of it, man. Sometimes there's
There you
sometimes where you can
go.
see the writing on the wall, and at the end of the season, you're like, man, you can see the way they started out the year. They were this and that. They were this and that. I'm just talking about the bench. The bench is not fitting with the system. I mean, you're a pro player. Like, how hard is this system to figure out? There's other teams that are using the same system and are successful and haven't been together that long and didn't start training camp earlier than everybody. I know they had to travel to, Abu Dhabi and all that, but that should build camaraderie and chemistry. I don't see it.
Hmm.
And then already you already see Mitchell Robinson is missing in action. So like, are they sitting him to trade him? I mean, I hope that's it because he should be out there playing.
I'm sorry. I love. I love my cousin. This you can tell that
Thank you, cuz I love you too.
he he is jaded. He's jaded and triggered by the New York Knicks. He wanted the Knicks
Bench.
to come out with a 5-0 record, to be dominating everybody. Mike Brown just got the job. I will say that he is the coach under the most pressure and scrutiny this season, because the floor when he got the job was 50 plus wins and getting the team at the very least back to the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, it is early. There's a lot of stuff has to be resolved, obviously, across the league, and we'll see if the Knicks figure things out, which I think they will, and come playoff time, the atmosphere in that city, the atmosphere at the Garden, I have witnessed it several times, and I will go on record to say there's no better atmosphere than a playoff game, be it a hockey game or a basketball game from Madison Square Garden. It's a great atmosphere. The Knicks will be fine going forward. They are contenders. They're not pretenders. I think they'll do just fine.
Rick, I got one for you. I want to push back on one of those five. Can you guess which one? Anybody want to take a guess where I'm going?
I think
Seahawks.
is it the
Lakers.
Seahawks?
It's the Seahawks. Thank you very much. So let's unpack this team for a little bit. First of all, they're 5-2, not yet 6-2. Okay, but they are third overall in defensive DVOA. You mentioned their defense, but that is nothing to sneeze at, right? And by the way, that's fourth in passing, and that's currently with a banged up secondary. Second in the run, you can't run up the middle. Offensively, they're actually sixth in offensive DOA total. Okay, and that includes second in the league through the air. And I get it, Sam Darnold. I get what he did last year and those last two games. You're talking to decades-long Jets fans, so believe me, there's plenty to unpack here about Sam Darnold, what it was in Carolina, how he looked in San Francisco, and all of that. But you're talking about a guy who's also leading the league in air yards, and the history of the guy who does that bodes well. I'm just going to say that. And a lot of this, the one knock on this team right now is they're way too JSN dependent, especially through the air, and we know that. But they have enough of other playmakers. And I like the fact that they're only 22nd in DVOA on the run. Why do I like that? Because there's plenty of room to improve, and the two guys they got in the backfield are pretty good. In fact, both those guys combined at over 100 yards against a very good Houston defense previously. The 5 wins that they've held all 5 of their opponents to 20 points or less. That is extremely impressive, okay? And I think if you really want to look at what they've got coming in the pike, you're talking about a team that probably has to go 500 the rest of the way to make the playoffs. But I think they're going to do even better than that. And a lot of that has to go with their schedule. They've got at the Commanders, who have fallen off a cliff this year. They still have an opportunity to play the Cardinals at home. So those are the next 2 games. They got the Titans on the schedule. They got the Falcons on the schedule. They got the Panthers on the schedule. I mean, those are easily, for them, the 5 wins right there. So I don't see them as pretenders. And the other thing I'm going to give them, McDonald's a very good coach. He's a very good defensive coach, obviously, but he's a good overall coach. He's proven that pretty well. Darnold, the last thing I want to say about him and this team is, like, the last 2 games were so bad last year, so bad that it wouldn't have surprised anybody if this guy never wanted to step foot on a football field again. Didn't want to get traded. Didn't want to play for anybody, because he could look at himself and say, I don't have it, right? I had such a good year, but when push comes to shove, it was a problem. Well, you could say the same about Justin Herbert currently, but everybody still believes that, at some point he's going to turn the corner and have a good playoff win. Darnold is playing at an exceptional level. In the preseason, there was a lot of talk that he wasn't the guy, that he didn't look good at all, that Seattle was in trouble with him at the helm. It's been anything but. He's got plenty of camaraderie, especially with JSN. He's looked extremely competent out there, and every week, McDonald's giving him a little bit more rope, trusting him just a little bit more, and he is rewarding him for that trust. The Seattle Seahawks are a contender, I'm telling you, not a pretender.
All right, so DZ, I'll give you a chance here if you want. If not, we can move on here. Name a team in the NFL or NBA, or you can talk about my list that's masquerading as a contender.
I'll bunch in the NBA real quick for Lakers and Knicks fans. Until your bench gets deeper, you're not going anywhere. It's just impossible. Look at the 2 teams that were in the finals. They went 10 deep. One team went 11 deep. And for you Luka fans, when Luka went to the finals, look at the roster and look at the bigs that were around him. Is DeAndre Ayton playing the same way he played a few years ago when he played with Phoenix? And if you're betting on that, then you've already lost your money. NFL. I love Aaron Rodgers. He's a future Hall of Famer and first ballot and all that good stuff. But if I'm being honest, I've jumped off the boat where he's still moving the needle, and I don't know if he still has the power to help this team get to a Super Bowl with the defense being, I would say, solid, I guess, Rick?
No, it's a great point. Rodgers is a common quarterback right now.
Yeah.
He's no longer the guy that was doing incredible superhero stuff in Green Bay. He's still functional. He doesn't stink.
Right.
He's just kind of normal right now, which it's just amazing. Like, LeBron hasn't ever become normal. He hasn't. Most dudes do. They dip just a little bit, and there's been no dippage at all with LeBron. All right, let's switch gears here, guys, and go to the World Series. We got Game 6 tonight, okay? So LA wins the 18-inning game, 6.5 hours, take a 2-1 lead in the series. They got 2 more games at home, looking good. The Blue Jays said, bleep that. They went 6-2, 6-1. No, this is not a tennis match. These are baseball games, okay? 12-3, they've outscored the Dodgers since the 18-inning game. I don't think anybody saw that, okay, including Toronto Blue Jays brass. Yesevich, obviously, to me, is tracking towards MVP. I know Vlad Guerrero's been phenomenal, too, but, I mean, this dude's had 2 fantastic starts. He struck out 17 batters in 2 starts in this World Series. In this World Series right here, 17 strikeouts. And obviously what he did the other night was amazing. I'm going to give my answer last here. Let's go around the table. Dwight Walton, you're up first. Obviously, DZ, I'm not sure if you know this. He's in Canada right now. And we were talking before we came on the air. If the Blue Jays win tonight, Dwight, it's going to be a heck of a party all around the great country of Canada. But who do you have tonight in Game 6? That's the question.
I simply think the Blue Jay pitchers have been more consistent throughout this playoff run, and the Blue Jays have a propensity for having huge innings And if they get off to a quick start, and then you add the atmosphere that's going to be at the Rogers Center tonight, the fans seem pretty deflated very early at Dodger Stadium. That's not going to happen at the Rogers Center in Toronto this evening. They truly are the 10th man on the field, if you will. They have an impact. They impact pitching for the opposition, and they impact offensive infusion for the Toronto Blue Jays. I think that's going to play a major factor tonight. The team that scores the first run tonight will have an advantage, but I think more so on the Blue Jays side of it than the Dodgers side of it. The Jays can't come back from a 1 or 2 run deficit, particularly at home. I think home field advantage will play a major role tonight. They will win one of these 2 games in Toronto, but I think they will win it tonight. And there'll be a major celebration, not only in Toronto, but across this great country of ours here in Canada.
You're on mute. You're on mute, Rick.
My bad. Dr. X, you're up next. Who you got in tonight's Game 6?
Well, who I do want the Blue Jays to win. It'd be nice for the country of Canada. I think it'd be amazing also just to get it out the way. I think it's been great seeing the Blue Jays knock out our Yankees, and then now smacking up on the Dodgers as well, my Brooklyn Dodgers, I should say. But I think they deserve it, and let's get them out the way. The Dodgers, if they were serious, would have won at least one of those games after those 18 innings, and so that was pretty depressing. So I just want to see it be done and over with. So let's go Blue Jays.
I love it. DZ, we've talked, DZ and I, we go way back, and DZ's not the biggest baseball guy, but he does dabble with it. He does mess with it a little bit. DZ, you got an opinion on tonight's Game 6?
That's why I love you to death, because your memory's like an elephant. You know me very well. This is the only time I watch baseball is the World Series. The only time I watch, I read the storylines. And Dwight, I will say this. Being in Toronto for Carabana, being in Toronto when you win a championship, I know how you guys know how to party. So make sure the Blue Jays close that thing out so we can have a big party in Canada.
Yeah. For the weekend,
AM,
Friday night,
AM, are
Saturday
they
night,
going?
Sunday?
Exactly. AM, is that party happening tonight or not?
It's happening tonight. Look, I'm in LA right now. I'm bleeding Dodger blue. I'll be rooting hard for them. Yamamoto, I want to see you go a complete game because you're going to need it. The problem with the Blue Jays, if you're playing against them, is they're a last 9-out, 12-out team. They are never out of it, right? And there are so many teams you're like, look, you can take care of business. But if that team gets down to the last 3 innings and they can get through Yamamoto's 6, they're in it. If they're down only 2 or 3 at that point, don't count them out. George Springer's back in the lineup tonight. My money's on the Blue Jays.
Well, all right, so it's pretty much all Blue Jays here, except this guy. I got the Dodgers. I got the Dodgers winning tonight, guys. Not trying to rain on parades or buzzkill or anything. I am a big baseball guy. 10 fantasy baseball leagues this year, and so I'm still a baseball guy. Guys, baseball is the weirdest sport that we have. It is. It's way weirder than the NBA. It's way weirder than the NFL. Hockey can be kind of weird too, right? A team can fall down 0-3, win 4 in a row. Like, it's rare, but it's not like how. In every other sport, how. Like, it's never been done in basketball. I don't think it ever will be. But anyway, baseball's the weirdest sport that there is. You can have, for example, when Clayton Kershaw came out in the 18-inning game to get, an inning or 2 outs or whatever that was, and they showed his World Series ERA. Clayton Kershaw's World Series ERA for his career is 4.63. That's garbage. That's minor league garbage, okay? That's just a stat to let, and he's one of the greatest pitchers of all time. But in the World Series, he sucked. 4.63 ERA? It's awful. It's baseball, okay? Look at Aaron Judge's batting average for his career in the playoffs. Go ahead, look it up. I don't even know if he's at 200. I'm serious. Baseball's weird. So just when you think you got it all figured out, you don't. And you can't say that about the NFL. Like one team is obviously better than the other. It's probably going to play out that way, especially in the playoffs, especially when you get cold weather and the home field advantage and stuff like that. But I'll condense this and so Yamamoto is a stud, 3-1 in the playoffs, 157 ERA. Gosman has been good. He's 2-2 with a 2.55 ERA. But like I said, I know baseball. I know Gosman is prone to getting lit up. Okay, some nights you go 7 strong, 5 hits, 2 runs, 8 Ks. Get it? He's one of the better pitchers in baseball. But there are also nights, because I've had him on my fantasy teams, where you're like, dang, Gosman, you 2 1/3, 6 earned. What is that, dude? You're killing my ERA this week. I believe the Dodger bats are going to erupt. I believe they're going to send Gosman to an early shower. 8-3 is my final score. We have a game 7 on Saturday night, folks. And I'm not rooting for anybody. Just letting you know, I think the Dodgers are going to win this tonight. All right, guys, let's have a roundtable rant right here. You guys ready for that? You want me to go first? Somebody want to raise their hand? Anybody got a rant that they want to get off their chest? You want me to tee us off here? AM Pfeffer, let's go. Roundtable rant, baby.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna bring it back to the NFL for a minute. I got a rant. I was just thinking about this today. Why I was thinking about it randomly, I don't know. But I think it's time for a lot of fans out there to embrace the NFL tie. Okay, I hear the pejorative constantly about it's a problem, get it out of the game, whatever it may be. I don't think so. I think it's actually exciting. I mean, when you're halfway through the season right now, and take a quick look at the standings. Okay, Philadelphia is 6-2, Tampa Bay is 6-2, but guess what? Neither of them are the 1 seed. You know who is right now? The Green Bay Packers, 5-1-1, and that percentage at 786 is better than the other two at 6-2 at 750. So embrace the tie. And on the other side of the equation, and we got 2 major fans of them on the show right now, the Cowboys, right? 3-4-1. Look who's above them right now for that 7 seed. You got San Francisco, you got Carolina, you got Chicago, okay? And Carolina and Chicago have both beaten the Cowboys this year. But at the end of the day, when push comes to shove, that 7 seed might go to a 9-win team, maybe even an 8-win team. The other 3 teams, I mean, San Francisco has a lot going against it, unfortunately, with the 2 best defensive players out. So who knows if they're going to drop off, okay? And I don't think Carolina and Chicago have what it takes to finish out the season above 500. So you know what, Cowboys fans? You might just sneak into the playoffs at 8-1. Don't be surprised if that happens. Certainly 9-7-1 if it does. So if you're a fan of either of those teams, if you're a fan of the NFL, embrace the tie. It's not so bad.
DZ has to run here. Dennis Scott has to run here pretty quickly. DZ, anything you want to rant about or any final words here before you got to dip out?
I know Sixer fans have been through a lot with the process and trying to figure out, will Embiid ever get healthy? I know Daryl Morey has been kind of, I'll let y'all put whatever word you want to put in front of that. This backcourt is must-see TV. Tyrese Maxey getting his max deal, well-deserved. His leadership and the young fella VJ's falling right in line with his paying attention to detail. That's what I love about this young rookie already, is listening to him talk, listening to the fact that he's paying attention to the leadership by Maxey. This backcourt already is young, is must-see TV. So Sixer fans, turn the page, forget about the process, concentrate on this backcourt because it's must-see TV.
DZ, you're taking me back to Lob City, baby. I'm having a deja vu flashback to NBA TV when Blake and Chris Paul and DeAndre Jordan. Remember Redick was on that team? Didn't they have Jamal Crawford or Lou Williams, I think, was on that team as well?
They had them both at one point in time, yes.
Yes, but DZ was on must-see TV. Must-see
TV, baby. Yes, sir.
You know what must-see TV is? You on the ACC network. That is must-see TV. DZ's going to be calling games. He texted us his first couple of games are going to be in Chapel Hill. I don't know if the Tar Heels are good this year, but they'll probably beat those teams 80-40 or something like that. But have fun, man.
Appreciate you guys. Miss you guys. And I'll see you next week.
Yes,
Thanks,
sir.
3D.
Great.
Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you. Thanks.
Leave
Nope.
it.
That
Leave
was
it.
nice.
Dr. X, Dwight Walton.
Yeah.
Any rants? Anything you'd like to rant about?
Go ahead, Dwight. Tell him why you're mad, son. Tell him why you're mad.
Thank you. No, my rant is about the Dallas Cowboys. I normally defend Jerry Jones as much as I can. I don't consider myself a delusional Dallas Cowboys fan, but I am a fan of the team nonetheless since 1974, since I saw Clint Longley replace Roger Staubach on Thanksgiving Day back in 74 and lead them to a victory. I was hooked that day, and I still remain hooked today. But we all understand that he had to make a business decision in regards to trading Micah Parsons before the season. I would have much preferred he draft Micah during the draft or before then, so they could have gotten better assets in return. But I do understand that he loves to have his team being spoken about, be it either on radio or on television. But this week, an interview came out with the Wall Street Journal saying that he was more concerned about his natural gas company and how he was on the verge of signing a contract for $100 billion. And if I'm getting the information wrong, I apologize. But I'm not talking about Jerry, the owner, but when you're Jerry Jones, the general manager, you're supposed to be doing everything in your power to try to improve a team, specifically on the defensive end, who is trying to get back to, I'm not even going to say Super Bowl, but back to an NFC championship game for the first time since 1995. I'm old enough to have seen championships, so I'm not going to sleep at night wishing the Cowboys would win. However, you can't be out there talking about trying to improve your stock portfolio when you have a football team and a fan base that has been clamoring for a win, at least get into the NFC championship game for the past 30 some odd years. All right. We want you to do what you got to do to improve your business side of things. We get that. But you also have a football team to run. And although you've drafted well and you've made some pretty decent decisions on the offensive side of the football, defensively, we want your focus right now to try and tweak this defense so that at least you can give our great offense an opportunity to get into the tournament later on in this winter here, so we can at least delusionally in our minds as Cowboys fans give ourselves a chance to at least have some success in the playoffs. Focus on the football team. We understand you got business to take care of outside of football, but the fans want to see you have your total focus on the football team and to improve our team specifically on the defensive end.
Love it. Dr. X, do you have a rant?
I don't have a rant for this roundtable, but just know that I'm quietly ranting about my New York Knicks to see if their bench can score at least 20 points this game coming up in the Cup games. I know this is going to be the in-season tournament, and I think they play the Bulls 2 times in a row, and I'm curious to see if, honestly speaking, if the Bulls will be a for real team right now, and if the Knicks can actually at least get one game off of them in a nice win, not like not an ugly win, but just like a win that looks like what we think this contender should look like. So you know what, Rick? I'm actually gonna rant right now. I I think I think they should as my wife walks in as my Knicks therapist, but I really think the Knicks are pretenders, honestly. And I'm actually okay to say that because everybody that picks them to go to finals, they don't pick them to win it. No one's picking them to win it.
Mm.
And even with that said, that was just before the season started, and they just had the Knicks above the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cleveland is not done. They're going to get better. Some of their players are out. They're going to build chemistry. They're going to have a chip in their shoulder. But then you're discounting teams like, for instance, the major one I think that we got to look out for is the Cleveland Cavaliers. But the Philadelphia 76ers if we have Joel Embiid that may be able to play at least in a playoff series. You can't overlook the Philadelphia 76ers. They might have the best dynamic backcourt in the game right now. So the Knicks, we're not looking too good because even the Philadelphia 76ers also have a good bench. I mean, I know we don't want to mention Paul George at this point because it's just annoying to keep on mentioning him and he keeps on letting us down. He's always injured or just doing too many podcasts. But for us right now, you can't summarily just dismiss the Philadelphia 76ers. You can't. And if they're healthy in a playoff matchup in a game seven, or not in game seven, but in a 7 game series, that's another team that the Knicks have to get through. And just based off what I'm seeing right now, we don't have a deep bench, and the chemistry of the starters is lacking. And that's all I have to say. So let's go Knicks. Give me one
You,
win
you
this
know,
weekend. Just one.
you know what though, cuz I will say one thing about the Knicks. And listen, if you want to be concerned, you can be as concerned as you want to be. But I'm not so sure if the bench truly is their issue. Until their two best players can't come to the table defensively, and I'm not talking about Mikal Bridges and Mitchell Robinson or OG Anunoby. Until Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns become better defensively, they will be pigeons defensively. They will be targeted. And that becomes an issue to me more than their depth or a lack thereof from their bench. Their bench, I think, will be fine until their identity, especially come playoff time, is more attention focused on detail defensively. I think that's where the Achilles heel for the Knicks will surface. That will be their issue, more so than their depth or lack thereof.
I love it, fellas. I have a rant. It's Pablo Torre. He's no Shams, he's no Woj. Shout out to Chris Haynes. I mean, you can't do this. Pablo, please do better. And keep Kevin Garnett's name out your Will Smith and mouth. Okay? Guys, this I bad reporting is something that just does not sit. There's no excuse for it, right? You miss a free throw at the end of a game, your team loses. It sucks, right? But like it's basketball. It's you miss the shot, okay? We're human. We're not robots. But when it comes to reporting, especially spicy news about the gambling scandal / saga that's going on in our league right now, it has to be 3 million times vetted. Okay, so Pablo Torre's got some stuff to learn here. He reported late last week. Report, Yahoo Sports. Former NBA star Kevin Garnett was among the former athletes who took part in a 2019 private poker game tied to individuals indicted in the DOJ's Operation Royal Flush, per at Pablo Torre. Wrong. He cleaned it up mid this week. Former NBA star Kevin Garnett, one of the former athletes who attended a 2019 private poker game tied to individuals indicted in the DOJ's Operation Royal Flush, reportedly believed he was attending an after party. Reportedly believed he was attending an after party, not a poker game. Also, Garnett left the event early and has not been contacted by the DOJ at this time. Yet, you smeared Kevin Garnett's name over an entire weekend, okay? It came out on like Thursday or Friday, and all weekend, Monday, Tuesday, and I believe it was Wednesday that he cleaned it up. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? Like, if I'm Kevin Garnett, who has, I mean, my gosh, he's got money, right? Like the salaries he made, the gigs afterward, I'm sure he's got businesses. Like I would probably do something if I was KG about this. File a lawsuit, slandering lie, something. I got the money for it, I don't know, guys, like to me that retraction or control, whatever the word is for that, has to be a little bit more than that. Like, my bad. I'm sorry. I'll do better next time. Kevin Garnett, I'm so sorry. Something. right? It's just like,
Mhm.
it's almost like, everybody forgot that previous scoop, so I'm just going to put this one out, and maybe people missed it, now they're just looking at this one. I don't like it, guys. It's unprofessional. It could be anybody, okay? It could be player X, it could be an NFL guy, but, you know, this is one of the absolute greats of the game. All right, and just throwing them under the bus, and then you come out and clean it up. All right, so that's my rant. I wanted to get that off my chest. So Doc, really quickly here, or as long as you want, we've got a comment from Karaya Gage. Karaya says, most definitely rocking with the show. Love the in-depth topics and discussion. Would like to hear Dr. X's takes on some of the injuries around the leagues, but all around great product. So we have a monstrous show right here, right? We had planned to talk about Trae Young and Anthony Davis. And so because Karaya brought it up, and obviously the show, we've been going in some different directions here, but Doc, would you like to talk about Trae and AD just quickly here and your level of concern on them?
Yeah, definitely Trae, and thank you. I think it's Correa, or yeah, maybe it's Correa. But
Yeah,
thank
it's
you,
good.
Correa. She's biggest one of the biggest supporters of the XSN network. But
Awesome.
yeah, Trae Young is pretty worrisome. And this is another rant as well. I think the players got to be less reckless with flopping in the lane, especially bigs. Like you're just too big just to be flopping around like that. Also, you got to be a defensive player in terms of like where you position yourself. Defensive meaning like you got to look for people that are flopping or someone that's diving for a loose ball because your knees can be taken out. And if you're not looking when someone is flopping, that's what happened. You know, big man flops and he knocks out his best player. He hits him on the lateral side of his knee, which means that it's going to lead to the force being projected to the medial side, which is likely an MCL sprain. And those can be very painful. And I don't suggest he play on that right away. But I think if it was, you know, a playoff game, he could probably, you know, tough it out with knee brace and get an injection or something. But definitely that's a tough injury. It's going to take a while for Trae Young to come back with that. AD looked like he just stepped wrong. It might be a bone bruise. I don't think it's a fracture. We would have heard about that already. I don't think it's any ligamentous tear like a Liz Frank injury. That it didn't look like that. It looked like more like he stepped wrong. He didn't really roll his ankle as much. It was just more how he landed in proximity to another person. But all that said, yeah, I think the players need to even take a class about how to avoid injuries in the NBA and realize that there are dirty players and there's stupid players, players that are just reckless with their bodies in the lane and things of that nature.
In the NFL, like I'm always like quarterbacks, you know, they'll throw the ball and they'll stand there, and then like the defensive line pushes the offensive lineman a little bit, and then he falls or rolls up into the quarterback, and I'm like, and I mean, you feel bad for him and stuff, but it's like what you said, Doc. You got to give me a little dance step back. You know what I mean? Because you're probably looking downfield to see if it's complete and stuff like that, but the ball's already out of your hand at this point. It's about all the wreckage and all the traffic around you. I know it's easy for me to say I'm not in the pocket with 11 dudes looking to, bury me into the turf. So, but anyway, Doc, great stuff, man. Phenomenal show. We really appreciate all you guys watching. We really do. For the injury thing, guys, by the way, Dr. Knob, of course, Dr. Phil McDonald are the best in the biz at these sports injuries that are analyzed by real doctors, right? I mean, Doc is the top radiologist in America. And for more on these injury analyses, go to our IG page and our YouTube page. And please subscribe and give us a like. X-Rated Sports Network, and the show is Beyond the Surface, and we really appreciate you guys. Any final words, guys? You ready to get out of here for today?
Go Blue Jays.
And for Doc, go Knicks.
Bench.
There
Knicks
you go.
bench. Go Knicks bench.
I hear you.
Go Dodgers, happy Halloween.
And one. There you go. I'm just gonna enjoy myself and vibe out on this fantastic show. For Dr. X, aka Dr. Phil McDonald, for Dwight Walton, for AM Pfeffer, for Jason and Kai behind the glass, I'm Rick Kamla. Thank you for watching Beyond the Surface on the X-Rated Sports Network. Have a great weekend, everybody.